looking that great. He's added 11 in this over to the South African cause. 64 for 1 after 7. Malan 26 of 22. Van der Dussen 26 of 16.
That's 28 of the last 2 overs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 28. And that's much more what South Africa needs. Looking at the run rate of double figures, much better. Especially if we're looking at a target of 200 still.
Yeah, and it's just for Janneman to see through the next overs of spin that would be coming in as well from this Pakistan side. I just want to get a check. Oh, Haris Ralph resuming, getting a leading edge that goes to the offside off of Malan's bat. They take a single, and then we saw overthrows at the non-strikers end, and then it enabled the South Africans to come back for 2. Good running between the wickets. There actually isn't another Asif Ali can bowl spin in this team. I don't think that that Babar Azam is going to go to him. So there's one more over of spin, which kind of falls into place into Janneman's thinking. He needs to just survive the next over of spin. Once he does that, he then gets pace on the bat the whole way through. This ball down the leg side, but Janneman his guard is on leg stump, managing to just dot the ball down on the square, and Rassie, good running, good presence of mind, calling for that single to the danger end. And South Africa's total goes up to 67. That is a 50-run partnership between Rassie van der Dussen and Janneman Malan. Some really good batting from these two.
Good stuff. They've seen of the typical period. Hopefully they can build on this and get us to a good total.
So next ball is short, and it's pitched in short, slightly wide outside the off stump. Rassie deciding not to play at that short ball. That's the one for the over. So Haris Ralph is now 3 balls left, and he can't bowl a short ball after this. So it's going to be interesting. This partnership is worth 51. Rassie van der Dussen scoring 26 of those 51 runs. There was there was a no ball in all of this. So Janneman scoring 24 in this partnership. Next one is a quick single taken to the leg side.
That ball kept a little bit low. So Rassie was not able to get behind it. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to know if they're using the same strip that they used on Wednesday. Because I know at the Wanderers they've used that same strip for the 2 T20s. Janneman pulling this one down to the fielder at mid wicket there on the boundary. They came through for 2 as the fielder had to do a little bit of work onto his left-hand side to get to the ball. Some good early running for the first run, and then some great turning. They didn't turn blind. They were aware of their situations, and they managed to get 2 runs there. No boundaries off this over. 5 balls in. South Africa already gotten 6 runs off this over, and this is what you'd want. Ooh, Janneman with a drive that was mistimed, came off the toe end of the bat. Was slightly uppish, but it bounced well in front of the fielder at mid off for another single. So to end that over, it's you wouldn't say non-eventful because the previous overs have had 4s and have gone for over 10, but it is an over worth 7 runs. So that South African total is now 70 for 1. In the last 5 overs, South Africa have been going at a run rate of 9.8, and the current run rate right now is 8.87.
Much better. We need to go 12 if we want to get around 200, 215 to be exact.
Look, I think it'll take a lot for Pakistan to chase 2 scores of 200, even though the previous 2 matches before this one, the team batting set can chase down a score of 200. That was obviously England in that T20 in Pretoria. So that's going to in early 2020 before we went into the pandemic. So a third time I would honestly believe. But South Africa somehow are the only team in the world to have had three. Is it 4 scores of over 200 chased down in T20 cricket, which is just a stat you don't want, but it seems unfair. Oh no, it's few of the last. I'll let you know after this. Fahim Ashraf is now into the bowling. This one's outside the off stump. Easy pickings for Yanaman, who plays that out to the field on the circle at cover for a single. So the stat was 3 of the last 4 times South Africa have scored 200 first. South Africa have not been able to defend 200 in 3 of the last 4 occasions that they've scored 200. It's very bad.
That's hectic. Yeah.
And the one question in the press conference was to Heino Klaas, which just felt unfair, was do you think we have a problem? This one is straight down to the fielder at mid-off. Quick single taken there by Rassie van der Dussen. Another single, 2 to start off the over. Just adding a little pressure onto Fahim Ashraf. He's going to want to try and collect a few dot balls here because singles and twos create a little bit of pressure onto the bowler as well.
I like Fahim. I know we're Team South Africa, but I like everything about Fahim. Everything. I like his attitude to cricket.
Oh, there we go. This one was a half volley that Yanaman created as he worked to the pitch of the ball. He drove that straight to the fielder on the ring at mid-off for a wicket there. Just was caught at mid-off by who is number 39, Fakhar Zaman. There, he was hoping to clear that field at mid-off, but a young little stretch from Fakhar to his right there, helping him to just get that ball. Didn't get the elevation he wanted, did Yanaman Malan, and South Africa lose their second wicket.
It's another off-cutter. So he was a little bit too early into the shot, which meant that the ball didn't carry over the fielder, but still a decent innings without being blockbuster. A decent innings from the other minutes got us in a reasonable position to get a good total here.
No, and that is true. The only worry is that being a batsman light could come into play here. You do not want guys like Mulder, George Linder having to bat upwards of 10 overs in this innings, and I think that's where the balance of the South African side has been slightly off. So Heino Klaassen's got a job here with Rassie. They have to try and bat South Africa probably to around about over 13, 14. To at least give those all-rounders coming in something to be able to strike at about 150, 170. But speaking of a strike rate, Klaassen's strike rate is 154 for the Proteas, so he knows how to score quickly. As Fahim Ashraf comes in to Heino Klaassen, who takes a quick single to the field at mid-off. It was a shot at the stumps there. From Fakhar Zaman, he missed it, but the South African captain is safe. I think it was a little bit closer than what we are thinking.
I think it's very close. I think that we like rotational strike. I don't think that single was necessary. The first ball, it was awfully close. Just on Klaassen. Klaassen is either get out early in his first 10 balls, or he goes and he scores, or it goes and he scores big, and he makes that strike rate count. He's not in between.
So this one is head out to point off the bat of Rassie. Another single has been taken. So this over has gone single, wicket, single. The last ball surely can't be a wicket.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Yes, hopefully not. Let's just wait for Fahim Ashraf into Heino Klaassen, who finds that field at backward point straight. It's not a wicket, but it's as valuable as a wicket. It's a dot ball to close out that over. South Africa 75 for 2.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier before the wicket, for him, he's a game changer. He did it in Pakistan, and he's making his impact here. He's an impactful cricketer with bat and ball. He's most teams would want.
Yes, and he bats at 6. He's comfortable at batting at 6. He can give you those runs there at 6, and he can give you some overs. It was reminding me of like when Cullis started in his international career. Before he became, he stepped into his own, like Cullis late, before the 2000s, late 99, not even 99, probably like 97 to 99. Cullis was in that mold, and then his batting just exploded. And you love guys like that, and to a certain extent, Vian Mulder, if he needs to mold his game against somebody, Fahim Ashraf is the type of guy you would want to, someone who can bat at 6 and be consistent for his team, and someone who also can bowl. This one from Mohammad Nawaz outside the off stump. It is a LBW appeal as Rassie was looking to reverse sweep there. This ball did hit him outside the off stump. There was an appeal. But it is not out from umpire Holdstock. They will not take the DRS as Mohammad Rizwan signaled that it was outside the off stump. Well, you can see with Rizwan, he was shaping to pick that ball up on 7th stump if Rassie had missed that.
Yeah, it was well outside.
A little bit of showmanship there from Nawaz. Looks like Rassie had some words with him, and he put his finger to his mouth in a signal of maybe you should keep quiet. Well, I'm not sure going at 10 runs and over in this match that you can do some things, but hey, it is Pakistan. We love it. I love the characters this Pakistan team has. They show a lot of passion for this game, which is something that many teams around the world lack. Oh, Rassie van der Dussen, after that shushing signal, decides to show Mohammad Nawaz why he has the right to talk. He dispatched that ball over mid-wicket, seemingly like a golf swing, like he's teeing off on the first tee, and he landed that well on the fairway. Well, not so much actually. He landed it in the castle corner on the north stand at on the pavilion at Centurion. So a really monster hit from Rassie van der Dussen.
Yeah, that's a lesson for a bowler. Don't tell a batsman what to do.
And that's also Rassie's release shot.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So all the talking in this over, and Rassie's just doing all the action. So South Africa's total goes up to 81 for 2. The run rate is 8.6, 4 balls left to go in the 10th over.
It's one of the problems with not having any fans cricket at the moment. It takes an age to fetch the ball when it goes for 6.
Yeah, but that's close to the... Oh, no, it's not. Oh, it is close to the OB Vans, but nobody would be there at this time. So that's just a little bit tough. But yeah, so Mohammad Nawaz resuming again to Rassie, who takes the sensible option this time for a single to the fielder at mid-wicket for a single.
Rotational strike. See, that's what you want. Hit the 6, change the strike. That's exactly what you want.
And it eases the pressure to score if you get a 6 in the first 2 balls of the over, because in the next half you just need to go and accumulate singles, and you've got 10. And that's the thinking that I hope is being spoken about in this team. Similar ball to the previous one from Nawaz, just coming into the right-hander, and Heinrich just plays it off his pads too long on for another single.
Yeah, you're right. I hope that's what's being done in between these two. Just to get the rotational strike built up.
Short ball from Mohamed Nawaz as he drags his length to Rassie van der Dussen. A little bit of fear there. I would surmise, and it's a single taken, 84 for 2. We have a tweet from Leah. Please keep the tweets coming at GUERILLASA. We'll do that at the end of this ball. So far, 9 off this over from Nawaz. Waiting. He's 1 run away from having gone for 10 and over. And the South African, Klaasen played this one to a mid-wicket. And that they take a single off of that. So 10 off the last over. Mohamed Nawaz finishes his quota of 4 overs with 1 wicket for 40 runs. And so that's going to be the end of him. Leah says, has no commentator in traditional media ever recapitulated a 6 from Vian, with Vian absolutely molded that delivery. And then she replies with, I'll get me coat. I don't think so, but we could try if Vian comes in next. I'm hoping he does because he can bat higher up than George Linder, but I think the guys would want to see George Linder bat at 5 because he bats there for his franchise team. So Fahim resumes, and in his resumption, he bowls a short ball outside the off-stump. Klaasen, looking to come down the wicket to Fahim, plays it straight to the bowler's ankles there. He tried to stop that ball. It bounced in front of him, and seemingly has hurt his right hand. But his captain, with I'm assuming experience in physio, had his hand clasped in there. I don't know why. It'll probably to stop the pain or the swelling. As we get to see the Pakistan physio coming out to attend to Fahim Ashraf's hand. So dot ball off of that first ball of the 11th. So I've got 85 for 2. This is big for Pakistan. So this is an important moment here. They don't want to lose Fahim.
I think you'll be all right. I think it's just a bang more than anything else. It's ball went into the ground, which would have taken off the pace as well. It's painful, but I think you'll be all right.
They're spraying his bowling hand with some magic spray to make it a little bit numb. I just don't want to make it too numb because they'll probably think he'll still want to have to feel the ball and not just bowl with a numb hand. But I'm not sure if there've been many bowlers who've bowled with a numb hand before. That would just be very interesting.
I just had a quick little look at the stats. I wanted to see Jacques Kallis, what he does in the T20s. Jacques Kallis has got 666 T20 runs. 666.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's an interesting number to end on.
Make it what you like.
Yeah, we're not assuming anything here, Chris.
No.
Very interesting number to end on.
Vassie's just got over 600 in this innings as well.
So we're looking at the stats here about South Africa's opening options. Temba Bavuma's only played 6 matches, scored 173 runs at an average of 28. Quinny de Kock, 44. At a strike rate of 142. That's the most important one. Quinny de Kock, 1,273 runs at a strike rate of 137. Aiden Markram at the bottom of that list, 6 matches, same as Temba, 197 runs at a strike rate of 171. It's a very, very intriguing one. It's very interesting because many people have forgotten about Temba Bavuma, but same amount of matches as Aiden Markram, and he's just about less than 20 runs off of him. He's about 14 runs, or Temba's 14 runs off of Aiden, and the strike rate's 143. So it's not a bad option having Aiden and Temba, or even Quinny and Temba at the top. And most importantly, I think Aiden probably has cemented his place to the World Cup. This ball outside the off stump is short and wide and hit and slapped to the fielder at the sweeper at the point boundary for another single. For a single, not another single, because there haven't been singles in this over.
What did you think about Temba batting at 3? in this format to accommodate that partnership of Quinton and Markham, just as an example. What do you think of that?
If there wasn't Faf du Plessis or AB de Villiers, I'd be agreeable to that. But I think at the World Cup, I think we need to look at Timber opening in this side to make space for Faf and possibly AB. Even if AB doesn't play, if Faf comes in, you want Faf to bat at the top, close to either 1, 2, or 3, and Rassie to bat at 4. So I think that's the one of the problems, that the headaches that South Africa might have going to this World Cup is, where do you fit in Aiden Markham into the side with all the other top/middle order batsmen that are there, who've historically been great for South Africa. A full ball outside the off stump, driven to the fielder at extra cover for a single. So far 3 dot balls off of this Fahim over. It looks like his injury is fine, and 2 runs coming off of it. Because I do think once we move past this World Cup and AB and Faf no longer play, Temba will bat at 3 in T20s and in ODIs. But because of the fact that you can't go to a World Cup without AB de Villiers, seemingly because the media wants him, this one is a dot ball to end the over. So 4 dots in this over, 2 runs from Fahim Ashraf's over. That's an incredible over from him, just stalling the South African innings, which is very important. And to a certain extent, if there wasn't the AB cloud looming, or even the Faf cloud looming, Aiden Markham would have walked into the side easily after these performances, and possibly even opened with Timber at 3. But it's just, if you picked Aiden Markham and you said we're picking Aiden and we're not taking AB de Villiers, you are going to be, so that this team is going to be crucified, and they're going to feel the same way that they did in 2019 at that World Cup, when they felt like imposters.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Of the 4 that have been spoken about, I think that AB is the one that's going to be in the squad.
Hassan Ali to resume this one down the leg side. A little bit of a chip there from Rassie van der Dussen on the square down the leg side for a single. The other thing would be is that you don't select David Miller, which is criminal in itself.
It's
but
criminal.
But you have Aiden, Quinton, Temba, Faf, and AB de Villiers as your top 5, and then your 6th batsman is Dwayne Pretorius or somebody who can come in and do what he does. But it is criminal to leave David Miller out. It's also going to be criminal to leave Chris Morris out. This one's a short ball on off stump. No room given to Klaasen, played back to the bowler, no run. So that's another dot ball accumulated in this innings. It's very tough. It is very, very tough. And like I said in my tweet after the game, there's going to be a lot of riots in the street when people find out that certain players are not going to make it. Like I did my World Cup 15, and one of the sad parts about it, that one is a Yorker length ball, but Heinrich Klaasen managing to get underneath it and slapping that one through extra cover for 4. It just was a little bit slower. He waited for that one, and he timed that very well.
I think you've got it on the money there. He saw the slow ball, waited for it, and smacked it through the covers. That's what made all the difference to time that ball and hit it for 4.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is, if all the IPL players are available, that's including Tahir, AB de Villiers, Faf du Plessis, short ball played out to the leg side, quick single taken, 2 mid wicket, and that is 1 added to South African total of 93 for 2. So this was my starting 11 at the World Cup for the first game. Quinny, Temba, Faf at 3, AB at 4, David Miller at 5, Dwayne Pretorius at 6, George Linder at 7, Chris Morris at 8, Kagiso about at 9, Anuf Noki at 10, Tibray Shamsi at 11. The 4 squad members who are going to receive medals should we win the World Cup. Oh my word, it's a full toss and it's landed on the bank. It's baseball time for Rassie van der Dussen. He plays it to his favorite area of the ground, that deep mid-wicket bank at Centurion for a 6. That was he missed his length entirely there, and he paid for it. Did Hassan Ali?
Seeing Rassie to do this is a wonderful thing. As I said earlier, he's not a very beautiful village or a tough to perceive, but he just goes about his business and does it very, very efficiently.
99 for 2, 1 ball remaining in the 12th over. We've seen 12 runs off of this over with 1 remaining. Hassan Ali's not having the greatest of times bowling today. Short ball pulled to mid-wicket. There is a fielder there, and they'll come through for a single. And Mog says to us in tweets, he's all class in this guy. So thank you very much, Mog. 100 runs for the South African team coming in the 12th over. 100 for 2. These two need to now increase that strike rate and try and aim for that benchmark number of 200. But if they go at 12 and over right now, they'll get to 196. So I think they might find themselves a little short here with the way they've managed this innings and the amount of dot balls that they've accumulated. We're talking about the squad that I had selected. So here's the question that I had, right? So the squad members, the other 4 squad members in the 15 would be Lungi Ngidi as the reserve pacer, Heino Clausen as the reserve wicketkeeper in the side, Imran Tahir as the reserve. This one's a full ball down the leg side. Rassie has pulled this behind, too fine leg for 4. It is actually going to be called 4 leg buys there. So it's a little bit unfair on Rassie. But the South Africans get 4 runs, 4 legs, 104 for 2. And then the last spot, which is why I think people would be rioting with me, was whether you take Rassie van der Dussen to the World Cup or you take Aiden Markram. And I chose Rassie. And I think that people need to try and understand that this is where we are as a team. Unless they choose, because obviously Quinny's your wicketkeeper at the top. So if you don't pick Quinny, who's going to keep wickets? So that's the other conundrum that Quinny brings. But the fact that if you want to drop Quinny, who's the wicketkeeper? Leah says, Gorilla say, how 100 runs in the 12th? What happened? How many no balls did he bowl? He didn't bowl 100 runs in the 12th. They got to 100 runs in the 12th, but I get you, Leah. Really lovely joke there. So that's where I think the problem lies for South Africa. And what? Okay, was there a?
Pakistan have gone for the review because the umpire said leg buys, and they were confused. So they said, "Well, if it's leg buys, we'll review." But it was
missing leg.
It was a horrible review. It was missing leg, hit him outside leg. It was missing everything by some distance.
Mm-hmm. And so, because we're allowed to take 7 reserve members with the squad because we're going to buy a bubble and everything else, Andile Aiden, Sisanda Magala, Yanaman Malan, Bjorn Fortuin, Lazard Williams, and Cal Verena were my 7 to go. This one is from Fahim Ashraf, is full outside the off stump, played out to the mid-wicket boundary for 2 runs. Great running from the South Africans. So 2 more added to this over. So it's now 6 off of Fahim's over. He's now essentially, the 4 runs won't be added to his total. The leg buys, they won't be added to his total there. But he's doubled essentially the runs that he has conceded in these first 2 balls that he's conceded in his first 2 overs. So something happening there. Ooh, okay, short, wide, and ramped over the fielder in the ring at third man. A good fielding there from Hassan Ali to prevent 2 runs at the boundary. So that's add 2 more to the South African score. 8 off the 3 balls in this over, 108 for 2.
The other thing is that's important, which Boucher talked about when he was talking about the Colbacks. He's talking about the culture within the side. Now, I'm not suggesting I'm not suggesting anyone has a problem with over the Villiers, but it does change things quite dramatically if they do bring
this
him
one
in.
Is full on leg stump, played out to Shaheen at that mid-wicket boundary for a single. That takes Rassie to 50 runs off of 33 balls. The total of South Africa to 109 for 2. He gets applause from the few spectators in the ground, i.e. his teammates. And a very good inning so far from Rassie van der Dussen.
Yeah, very good innings. Just went about his business as he always does, with no flair, just normally.
Yeah, he's just a no-drama cricketer.
That's it. That's all he does. And it's wonderful. I love it.
Short ball and pulled a 2 mid-wicket down the throat of Shaheen Shah Afridi. As you said, Heinrich Klaasen, first 10 balls. He's only lost at 12 and he's out. 9 off 12. This one was just he had to hit it, but he hit it too well.
It was a long hop. A long hop that deserved to go out the ground.
And he couldn't do that at his home ground. So what does that say about him? But yeah, so he's gone, the captain, 9 for 12. Probably one of the... he'll continue to probably play for the side once Timber comes back from his injury, probably in the Ireland series, but he'll be in as the wicketkeeper. He won't be captaining. But from a batting perspective, he's been off form lately. Has Heinrich Klaasen, compared to what he was early in 2020.
Didn't he make runs for the first game? I could be wrong. I just got this impression, or have I got it mixed up with...
yes, one of the games I think he scored runs. And just we'll get that for you while we wait for the next batsman to come in. This cricket info now has just gone all buck wild on everybody. So T20. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's just weird. So in 2021, this one is pulled down to the leg side, or played down to the leg side by Rassie van der Dussen for a single. South Africa now go on to 110 for 3 at the end of the 13th over. George Linder has come in as that batsman at number 5. So in the T20s that he's played this year, his high score has been the 50, which is, I think he did that in the last, 2 games ago. He's still striking at 154 and an average of 34.75. So I take that back. It's only in ODIs where he has been slightly off color.
Like Markham. Markham stuck with the ODIs.
What did you make of that comparison that Mark Boucher was making when people were asking him about Carl Verena, and he said, well, Carl Verena had a good ODI match, but it's not ODIs, it's T20, so we can't use it. Oh, it won't translate. Was he being economical with the truth?
I don't know what he's on about, honestly. I don't know what he's on about. No idea. No idea. I would like to ask further what he meant by that.
Harris Ralph starting at the pavilion end. This one was a Yorker length ball, but Rassie managing to get bat onto that to the leg side for a single, bringing the left-handed batsman, that is George Linder, who's played 7 T20 matches so far for South Africa. Only 89 runs, but his strike rate is 164. His high score is 29, so he'll be hoping today to maybe try get over that and take South Africa to a sizable and a manageable score. I think 180 is going to be a blessing here. It would be a good score from here on in for South Africa with the wickets that they keep losing in these intervals.
Yeah, they're losing wickets at just the wrong times.
First ball to Linda played out to point for a single.
Yeah, and it's not ideal. You would have wanted Clarkson to bat for another 3-4 overs. George to come in for the last 3 and just to go home.
So in this series, Harold Klaasen scored 50 in that first T20 at the Wanderers off 28 balls, 36 not out of 21. At Centurion, it's 15 off of 10, and this one is 9 off of a 12. So as you were saying, if he gets past 10 balls, he does quite well. Rassie with his release shot on one knee, slog sweeping it to the fielder straight down the third of mid-wicket on the boundary. Another wicket has fallen, something South Africa didn't want. Some very disappointing batting from the South African team. 52 off 36. So Rassie goes at a strike rate of 200, but he leaves his team in a spot of bother at 112 for 4.
You didn't need that extra wicket. It is his release shot, but it just didn't get anything like the timing that he has throughout his innings in that particular.
But to a certain extent, it's great fielding. It's great captaincy as well because for Rassie, it didn't happen in the power play, but obviously once the power play was done, for Rassie, you always need to have that fielder in that area because he can mistime it, and he has. And sometimes if you get hit for 6 over that area, that's fine because you know that he's going to go look for that when the pressure's on. And the pressure was on. South Africa had lost the wicket. They hadn't probably scored a boundary in the last 5 or 6 balls. And so that release shot was a pressure shot, and it put South Africa in a spot of bother. This one, next ball to George Linda. They crossed when the ball was in the air. Is played out to the fielder at mid-off for a single on the circle.
I like Mulder. I like him as a cricketer, but he said to me, in this sort of situation, Kyle Pavena or Mulder, Kyle wins it every day.
So the last boundary was those leg buys, and that happened 7 balls before the wicket of Rassie van der Dussen. So he knew he was under a lot of pressure, and he looked for that release shot that brought it out. Some great captaincy and bowling from the Pakistanis. Dot ball from Haris Rauf again to Vian Mulder, who faced his first ball in T20 cricket. The curious case of Andile Phehlukwayo. That's pretty much what the series will be characterized as.
Wow.
I would have brought. He's not happy. He is not happy.
A lot, eh? Sure.
Oh. Wow. I'm waiting for the book. We'll wait for the book. This one is on middle stump, driven down to the fielder at long on for a single. It might take 10 years for the book to come out, but we will be waiting for that book. Guys. It's so blatant. It's so blatant. And I think Bachar thinks he's getting away with it. And it's just disappointing that some of the members of the media aren't willing to ask the hard questions. They were still sugarcoating it in the questions yesterday. I think Ken called it. He said to Bark that Andile was a batsman, which I thought was a very nice way of sticking it to, not necessarily sticking, but giving him of bringing it from a left field perspective to say that, are you actually picking Andile as a batter? What is it that you're actually doing with this guy? It's just not right.
No.
This one is short outside the off stump, gets the edge of Mulder's bat. Great fielding from third man. The South Africans are riding for 2, and if not for the bounce of that throw in from the boundary, that would have been out for Vian Mulder. He is lucky that ball hit. There's a ridge at the top of the crease, and it hit that one, and it popped up. And Rizwan couldn't take it cleanly. But, risky running from the South Africans, but it's much needed running from them. And Hassan Ali's also very angry at himself that he couldn't be a little bit more accurate for his team. He knows what that would have meant. That would have probably meant them chasing 150 instead of possibly 160, 170 with this pair, hoping that this pair come good. A dot ball there from the next ball, 116 for 4.
Yeah, but as we were talking now, the Petitquire thing doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help Boucher. It doesn't help the player. It doesn't help the team. And we need to actually sit down and actually discuss the situation, rather than to say, skirt around it.
Yes. Have a discussion around transformation targets. Have a discussion about how it's hamstringing you as a coach. This one down the leg side for a single. And a lot of people will be understanding because it is injury forced. Timber is injured. Reza's left the side for the birth of his daughter. You've got injuries going in and around the team. And Andile wasn't supposed to be in the side in the first place. So the question is, how was actually Mark Boucher going to do that? Because he only had 3 Black Africans in the squad in the first place, in Luto, in Temba, and Sisanda Magala. So I'm just very confused as to why nobody thought of that in the first place before, or in selecting teams into the bubble. Mtiwe Kaya Nabe could have been an interesting one. Aya Tramane of the Warriors, who were striking at 190 at the CSA T20, batting in at 6 could have been something. This ball is pushed, played out past the fielder at point. There was a little bit of a dive there to prevent the runs there. Single taken again, so 4th is over. So I'm really disappointed in the selectors and in their foresight and their thinking. Because if we're padding the squad with reserves, the other thing would be pad the squad with the reserves that help you meet the required targets, especially knowing that this is the last series of your season, of the year. So you then have to try and figure out a way to make whatever numbers that you missed up. It's not the best way to do it, in my opinion. This one played out off the front foot there from Björn Mulder to the fielder at point. South Africa just going about in singles and twos when they need to be finding boundaries. But 5 balls off of this Fahim over, his last over, and he has gone for 7 runs off of, and he's taken 2 wickets. Sean Beckett on Twitter says, Mpo, did you pick Morris in your team? Hi, Sean. Yes, I did. I picked Chris Morris in my team. I kind of felt that if AB is being talking to Mark Boucher, I'm assuming Chris Morris has been talking to Mark Boucher. And so this ball's a beauty to end his 4 overs. Fahim gets the edge off of George Linder's bat. Mohammad Rizwan is all smiles behind the stumps. And what a way to end the most incredible bowling effort we have seen in this series. 3 wickets taken off 17 for 17 runs in 4 overs. Fahim Ashraf knows how to end him, and he ended it in style.
And South Africa paying the price for playing 8 bowlers.
So when we were 3 down, Stuart Hess tweeted, and so South Africa going to the tail.
Exactly.
Oh, my word. It has been... Mark Boucher has not had the best of records. And I know this possibly must be weighing on him in terms of the fact that he's only won 2 of his of his first 11 series. Yes, he's drawn 2 that as well, so you can give him that as well. But he had a chance of drawing another series. And somehow in the team selection and the team balance, he's managed to find a way to make it very hard for himself to win a match.
Incredible. Yeah.
So it brings in Andile Petluwayo, who's going to make a contribution to this team, a contribution that is probably not in his strongest suit, but it's something that he's building up in.
Yeah, the other point I'd make is this is not just Mark Boucher. I know everyone goes on about Mark Boucher, but this is not having a full-time batting coach. Not having a full-time batting coach. The other selectors. Not having a mental coach within the side, to a side that are struggling mentally. They are having problems without keeping
I'm with you there. I'm with you there. And I think if he's thinking that he's going to try and win a World Cup by having those IPL and those returnees come back into the side, I think he's going to be sorely, he's probably going to find himself in a little bit of trouble. This ball here played off the back foot, another dot ball off the bowling. Was it a single taken? Yes, they've managed to take a single off the fumble there from Fakar Zaman. He managed to dig his knee into the turf there. So hopefully he'll be able to walk it off and run it off. But so far, first two balls of Hassan's third over, it's a dot ball and a single.
So they basically said, "There's the house. We're sorry it's built on sand." That's basically what they've done.
But that's the thing about chemistry as well. Like, how do the guys who play T20s for the South Africa week in, week out? A half volley there that Andile looks to play outside the off stump, but his timing's slightly off, and he can only play that straight to the fielder at the point boundary for a single. It's a chemistry thing as well. Like from a planning perspective, is he hoping that Faf and AB are going to save him and Tahir are going to save him, and probably even Chris Morris? That it's okay, let them play. I understand they need to take their money, but these guys need to play T20s the moment the IPL is over. Oh no, this one is a pull shot up in the air. It's gone to the wrong place. Vian Mulder was looking to take it to mid-wicket. It ended up at extra cover, and it's a wicket for Pakistan. He was caught at extra cover by Baba Azam. Hassan Ali's horrible bowling, getting some reward there with a wicket. He can then say, well, at least I took a wicket, even though he's gone for over 15 and over so far. And yeah, so South Africa, well, the tail was long, so we just continue. We just continue.
Yeah. The house and sand is falling apart.
Here's a question, Tim. Are you always worried about... So Sean Beckett says, thanks, and Paul, I always worry about Morris's form for the national team. There's another person's form I'm worried about for the national team, and that's AB de Villiers. If I would say, and I know this is unpopular, if there ever was a player I wanted back from retirement to play for the Proteas, it would be JP Dramini, especially in this World Cup. Because JP Dramini has the most T20 international runs for this country. He always shows up for this national side. And AB de Villiers, yes, he's incredible, and his numbers also look a little bit good. Short ball down the leg side. There's an appeal for a catch behind, but umpire Holtstock says it's a wide. DRS is going. They're not going to review. And so that's my thing. And so what do you think of Morris's form for the side? Do you still would you still pick him?
Okay. I'll go with both. 6 months ago, I didn't want David de Villiers in the side. I do now. And what I've seen with this current side, it desperately needs a blockbuster player. Forget what he may or may not do. It desperately needs. Oh,
edged and gone. They were worried about the edge down the leg side. And Dila was like, you know what? I'll give it to you on the other side. Some poor bowling there, some poor batting from South Africa. And Hassan Ali now has 2 wickets. It's not even his third over. And it's not even completed his third over, and 122 for 7. This is it's a procession.
Yeah, it's awful to watch as a South African supporter. It's but it's easily predictable. It's very easily predictable with the team they went in with. You could see this happening. You and I said it. I said that it had to come from top 3 batsmen. It didn't come from them. We were done for.
Yes, and this batting lineup does not help you be that aggressive, smart cricket. It doesn't help. You're putting yourself on a hiding to nothing.
Yeah, I don't understand it at all. Don't understand it. Nobody, I don't think anyone can actually explain it to me properly. I think I'll still be.
Mog says the way it's going, they'll be begging Callis and Steyn to come out of retirement. I'll take Dale Steyn. I would take Dale Steyn any day.
On the Morris thing,
Mm-hmm.
Most things is an interesting option. I would pick him, yes, but
Mm-hmm.
a few months ago, and they got Graham Smith in the commentary box, and I asked him, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he said his problem is his attitude. His
Wow.
problem is his wonderful cricketer, all talent in the world, not prepared to work. I am paraphrasing a little bit, but that's essentially what he said.
That is very interesting. Mr. 36 million isn't prepared to work. Wow. Okay. So maybe then.
All the talent, but he definitely was not, just we must bring him in. Not like that at all. He was
So last
very
ball of
cool.
the side's third over to Bjorn Fortuin, played out to the leg side, quick single taken. End of the 16th, South Africa have conceded 5 wickets for 13 runs. That has been unbelievably poor. And Chris on Twitter says, doomed. So he beats a war pump to that. That's unbelievable that Chris Morris has an attitude problem. Like, it's hard to believe.
According to Graham Smith, anyway.
So here's the question. There are some leaders who don't like to be questioned, who don't like their decisions to be questioned and see the questioning of their decisions as insubordination, right? And Chris has every right, especially having played tests for this country when Boucher came back and he was in and around that test side, and he's the best. I think he's the best test all rounder we have. And we can argue between him and Dwayne. It's right for him to ask those questions, even in the shorter formats of the game, because Chris, with these guys, elevates this team. So if it's a question of whether Chris is being is questioning why he's not being selected, and they're seeing that as an attitude problem, then I'm very worried about bringing in those Kolpak guys. This one driven straight through and is a misfield. So Bjorn Fortuin getting a boundary off of a misfield. Haris Rauf, Pakistan's been so great in the field, and Haris Rauf just making a meal of it, and it went straight through mid-off fingers through to the boundary for 4, 127 for 7.
I've spoken to a few Kolpaks, and everyone to a man says they don't want special treatment. They don't expect special treatment. I know they have to work exceptionally hard if they were to play for the Proteas again. And if it did, fantastic. If it didn't, that's also fine. Not one of them is. It gives off the impression of self-entitlement and to any kind of demands, of any kind.
Short ball from Shaheen, played out to point by Fortuin for a single. And then Jeff Perkins says, just need to invent a reverse Kolpak. Wokes and folks would be over in a flash for a chance to play. Yes, please do. I'd take Chris Wokes and Ben Folks.
I'll take them both, yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Quinton can fill under the covers.
Sisanda doing really well to get this ball aiming for his stumps out. It was a Yorker length ball and managed to get to the other side of to the non-strikers end for a single. So 6 off of this over. Mog says, is this selection policy some kind of a pre-choke? So like preparing us for the real thing now, so we don't get our hopes up. Yeah, possibly. But this is worse than a pre-choke. This is just him giving up. Like it feels like he's thrown in the towel. This one driven out to that sweeper at the point boundary for a single. I really don't know how the selectors are thinking. Vian Libbe could have batted in the side. He was defending Vian Libbe yesterday in the press conference. And he bowls too. He bowls spin. He's an off spinner.
I didn't understand that.
What's going on?
You gave them the pinch hitter role. Pinch hitter roles often fail. You had 2 chances and you said thanks.
Yorker length ball down the leg stump, was going to miss all 3, but Sisanda didn't know that. He plays this ball on the half volley. It bounces. It's a bump ball, so it bounces up over Shaheen's head, and that's very tall. and goes, I thought it would have probably been impossible, caught and bowled with the whole appeal. Let's look at whether it's a bump ball or not. But interesting piece of cricket to just at least make us a little bit happier. But wow. And last ball of the over, short ball, Sisanda missing that. Yeah, that ball's too good for a number 9 batsman. End of that over. South Africa scored 6 all runs off of that over with 2 dot balls towards the end.
Oh, the only saving grace I could see is Pakistan have a tendency to lose games they should never lose.
This would be the most. This would be if we win from here and the bowlers win it from here, those guys should be going to the World Cup either as reserves or squad members. Whoever takes the most wickets and opens this game up for South Africa should be in the starting lineup going to the World Cup, because it would probably be the best. It would be the best preparation for chasing down a small Nyana score. So 3 overs to go. Hassan Ali to resume. This one's a short ball, and for 10 plays this one to mid-wicket for a single. I think the best that these guys can do is try get as many singles off of these balls, and anything they can get to the boundary will be a bonus, but they need to try bat till the end. Maybe 150 is possible if they bat until the end.
Yeah, just bat till the end, boys.
So Mog replying to the reverse Kolpak. This one, some very bad wicket keeping from Mohammad Rizwan, looking like a shade, a touch, like Safraz Ahmed there. It was a swing and a miss from Sisanda Magala outside the off stump, and it was a cutter. It missed the off stump, which was very close, but Mohammad Rizwan missed the entire ball in itself, and it went to the boundary for 4 bars.
Thank you, Rizwan. Thank you.
Yes. Is he either Akmal or is he Safraz? What's the joke here? Oh, this one's a half volley. Sisanda's picked it up for 6. It's a long lever there from Sisanda Magala, and he gets his first 6 runs in international cricket, or probably second because he hit a 6 in the first T20. It's 141 for 7. We could get to 150, something for the guys to bowl at. So Mog replied,
no long off, which is a bit strange, but there you go.
But then he should be bowling short balls. He shouldn't be bowling block hole balls then if he's got no fielders long. Another full toss, this time into the boot of Hassan Ali. That would have gone for 4 straight down the ground. But some great soccer skills from Hassan Ali to prevent that one. Mog saying, to replying to Jeff's question or comment on the reverse Kolpak, he says they could get half the NZ team back too, which is true. I'd love Devon Conway in this team. And then Leah says, well, this game is in the books. Not even Pakistan can F this up. Time to watch some senior citizens getting euthanized in Mumbai, i.e. the Chennai Senior Kings. The way that team drafts players is just beyond me. Hassan Ali short outside the off stump and wide and missed by Sisanda. Played down the wrong line there. It was a slower ball. 141 for 7, another dot ball to Hassan Ali, who has gone for 10 runs and over for his 2 wickets. So he's been probably Pakistan's worst bowler, but he's found a way to take 2 wickets. And that says a lot about the South African batting today, the inexperience in the batting, the selection, and all the drama that's just somehow Mark Bacha is trying to push away, but he keeps on drawing to himself. Yes, Sisanda tees up. It's gone up in the air. It is caught in that third man region. The 2 fielders, it was third man and backward point converging. Backward point ended up taking the catch. That's for Kazaman. And somehow Hassan Ali has 3 wickets for the bowling that hasn't been that great. And so South Africa are 141 for 8 at the end of the 18th.
Yeah, just spliced up delivery on the offside. Yeah, it's a shame, really. Would it be useful to have a few lusty blows towards the end? At least have something to bowl at.
Jeff then replies, says, maybe this is designed to make coming fifth in the next World Cup look like progress. Yeah, I actually thought of that. It's possible. It is really possible. Because the question to you, Tim, and to the listeners, what are we expecting in this World Cup as South Africa? Do we want to win? Are we hoping for like a semi-final? We'd be happy with a semi-final. We'd be happy with being knocked out in the quarterfinals or group stages. Do you not want to lose to Afghanistan? Is that where we are?
I think the latter, and honestly, I think the latter, if we take all of these players, it's the latter.
So don't lose to Afghanistan.
If we take these players, if we take all the IPL guys, I'm afraid it's win or nothing. If you take FGPC, Imran Tahir, Chris Morris, Abel de Villiers, it's got to be win or nothing.
And the first time Lazard Williams is batting for South Africa in glasses under his beautiful green Protea helmet, he gets a Yorker from Shaheen Shah Afridi, and he manages to dig it out. So that's a good one. He's batting in glasses a la Leach, a la Daniel Vittori, so we're hoping there's some lusty blows from Lazard. Mog then replies saying, 1 place behind Afghanistan. I think they will burn Boucher's house if South Africa finish 1 place behind Afghanistan. Even though Afghanistan does have 2 of the top 5 best bowlers in T20 international cricket.
Yeah.
It's just... Oh, yes, Lazard with the first time he gets bat on ball as a Protea. Well done, young man. This one going down the leg side for a single. It's picked up a third man at fine legs. I beg your pardon. It was going down legs. Oh, no, the umpire has just denied him. That came off the bat. Oh, Adrian Oldstock, come on. It's a leg by. Oh, so he's still on a duck. So Hassan Ali has now gone to 7 wickets in the series, and that makes him the highest wicket taker before the South Africans take the field. Lazard Williams is the closest South African on 5. He's 3rd on the list. Mohamed Nawaz is 2nd with 5 wickets. And Bjorn Fortuin decides to hit this one straight into the air and is caught by the captain, Baba Azam, at mid-wicket on the circle at mid-on, actually. That's 8 of 6. So South Africa 142 for 9. And Pakistan's best bowler today, Shaheen Shah Afridi, has figures of 1 for 18.
Figures with this Pakistan side, as bad as we've been, and we have been very bad, they've been excellent. The bowling's been good, ground fielding's been good, and they've caught everything. Some of the catches on like that one was anything but easy. You had to cover a lot of ground to catch it. They've caught everything.
Because we're defending this 150, which is a very low total, because you've got 8 bowling options, do you bowl the first all 8 up front, then you bowl another 8 up until 16, and then your 2 best bowlers bowl the death? I'd do that if I was Hannah Clausen. But I'm sure he's got a piece of paper, and he'll probably follow that piece of paper like he did at Centurion. Which probably, oh my word. I have 5 specialist bowlers. I didn't need a wicket-taking option. Really? Really? You didn't need to take wickets in a T20? Okay.
150 for 1. No, we're not in this bowler. Another time.
Oh my word. This one's a toe cruncher. Oh, hopefully Lazard is still fine. Shaheen with a pinpoint ball on the toes. It's outside the off stump, and Lazard is limping. He took one on those toes. And Tabraiz Shamsi, the senior batsman, who's come in at number 11, is walking mid-pitch to assess the damage and chat to his man. That thing was just a beautiful ball. So it was an inside edge onto the ankle. But it was still very accurate there from Shaheen. Yeah, it hit him. Another Yorker length ball, and then Shaheen bowls some pretty Yorkers there. But if Lazard finally gets a run to his name in international cricket, he'll never ever say he didn't bat in international cricket or score runs. There it is for you, Lazard. Well done. And well done on keeping that Yorker out. Even better. So, and Tabrez seemingly running up the pitch, coming into nearly colliding with Shaheen and having to stumble his way to the striker's end. He's only played 32 matches. He's only scored 4 runs, which kind of gives you an indication of how often he bats. And then you have another. So Shaheen came around the wicket this time, bowled a Yorker on off stump. Shamsi said, "Hey, I don't bat that often, but I know how to block this one." And they're having a laugh about it at the end of that over. 1 run, 2 runs off of that over, 1 off the bat, 1 leg by in the 19th over. So we've got 143 for 9. South Africa's 4th highest batsman, Tim, 3rd best batsman, Tim, is extras today with 12.
Extras. Good performance, all right, the boys. Good performance. Solid.
And then Jeff asking, is there a lizard in the team due to the reptile quota? Yes, lizard is there, if you want to consider it that way. Here's a team that's only used 5 bowlers, but they're 143 for 9. Haris Rauf to complete to bowl Pakistan's 20th over. He bowls a wide half volley outside the off stump. Lazard drives that to a point for a single. 144 for 9. Armchair Cricket Podcast says, I was away for 30 minutes and from 2 for 108, South Africa collapsed to 9 for 141. Can they even last out the 20 overs and give themselves a total of plus minus 150 to defend? That is just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
108 for 2. That is quite astonishing.
And Barch is probably going to blame the players again, but that's another story for another day. This one from Shamsi plays this one in the air on the up, nearly to the man at mid-off, but it bounces just in front of him. They didn't take a single. I don't know why these guys are not running, but it is a dot ball. So the stat is South Africa were 73 for 2. But the wicket of Heino Klaasen was at 109 runs. So they were 109 for 3. They've lost 6 wickets. Oh, this one's a bit of an inside edge. Mohammed Rizwan is asking for it. Adrian Holstock looked at his square leg umpire. They're thinking of an inside edge. It's gone up. They've taken the DRS, so we'll have time to do the maths. So currently the score is 144 for 9. So South Africa lost 6 wickets for 35 runs.
That's
and
good.
It could possibly be even 7 for 35.
Yes, could be 7 exactly. Yeah. Good going.
Unbelievable.
Playing 8 bowlers worked.
8 bowling options. The 8th bowling option in Barches, Devetis, Ed, and Markram. And Snicko and Ultra Edge confirmed that there is an edge off of Shamsi's back. So South Africa have lost 7 for 35. And that ends the South African innings at 144 all out. Pakistan will need 145 to win. So, Tim, can you just characterize this entire innings for the listeners and everyone else in the world?
That was a horror show the moment Klaasen got out. South Africa started off well. It looked like they were going to get about 180 plus, which would have been defendable. But the moment Klaasen got out, they just fell away. They were always going to fall away, as we discussed, with the lack of frontline batsmen in the side. So it shouldn't be too much of a shock. All the same, 7 wickets for 35 is quite astonishing at the end of the day. And it's a total that they should lose comfortably. But
I think Pakistan should get there in like 12 overs, honestly.
Hey?
I think Pakistan could get here in 12 overs. The way they're in red hot form. Well, the top 3 is in red hot form. But just... it's really disappointing from everybody. And yeah, so let's just take you through the South African scorecard quickly. South Africa were put into bat by Pakistan. The first wicket to fall was of Aiden Markram, LBW, by Mohammad Nawaz. He scored 11 off of 5 balls. And then the next wicket to fall was Yanaman Malan. He was caught at mid-off by Fakhar Zaman off the bowling of Fahim Ashraf for 33 of 28. Heino Klaassen then started the collapse of a lifetime. Okay, not a lifetime, but the collapse of dramatic proportions. He was caught at mid-wicket by Shaheen Shah Afridi off the bowling of Fahim Ashraf for 9 of 12. The next wicket to fall then was that of Rassie van der Dussen. That was at 112 for 4. The score was for South Africa. He was caught at mid-wicket, mistiming one of his release shots, his slog sweep, by Mohammad Hafiz off the bowling of Haris Rauf for 52 of 36. And then George Linder followed 3 or 4. He was caught behind Mohammad Rizwan off the bowling of Fahim Ashraf. He just swung wildly at a ball outside the off stump, caught behind. Then the next one out was Vian Mulder, 6 for 121. That was the score when he went out. He was out for 6. Caught Babar Azam, bowled Hassan Ali. He was caught at extra cover looking to play a ball to mid-wicket. He somehow got an edge and went to extra cover in the air. Andile Petluguayo came in. The curious case of Andile Petluguayo continues. Caught by Mohammad Rizwan behind, bowled by Hassan Ali for 1 of 2. Sisanda Magala had 1 6 and a single. He was caught by Fakhar Zaman at third man off the bowling of Hassan Ali. Bjorn Fortuin followed. He was also caught. He was caught at mid-on by Babar Azam off the bowling of Shaheen Shah Afridi for 8 of 6. Lazard Williams was not out on 2 of 5. And Tabrei Shamsi was the final wicket out, inside edge, all the to Mohammad Rizwan behind the stumps off the bowling of Haris Rauf for a duck, a 3-ball duck. Pakistan's bowling, Shaheen Shah Afridi 1 for 19 of his 4. Mohammad Nawaz 1 for 40 of his 4. Haris Rauf bowled 3 balls into his 4th over. He was out he had figures of 2 for 18. Hassan Ali, his 4 overs went for 3 for 40. And Fahim Ashraf, who I think was the pick of the bowlers today, was in the series actually, got 3 wickets for 17 runs. So that is the end of mine and Tim's stint. Tim, thank you very much, my friend, for just joining and giving you insight and have a little bit of a ranting session about what is going on with this side. And we'll be back. What's going to happen now is that on YouTube, on Twitter and on Facebook, we're going to keep the scorecard going. But we're going to play archives on our 1WSR and also our TuneIn feed. And then we'll be back with the live with Otto and Rut and possibly Simon for the second innings. So from myself and Tim, all the best and goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day.
This is how we should have played at the World Cup. Timber reminding everybody that actually he's a white ball player, averaging 111 for South Africa, 150 in that stay, and that 100 was 113 against Ireland on the it was the last tour of England, I think. The last time he played.
144. Graham Pollock's final
short
score
outside of the off stump. Timber cutting that to the point boundary. The fielder having to do a lot of work, and that is that David Malan?
It might be actually.
Number 29.
Was it not Works?
No, but it's number 29.
Oh, you see, I'm not yet at the point where I look at numbers. I look at beards basically and try and figure out who the hell. Okay, it might be Darvin Milan. I know he was very, very grumpy about his non-selection into this this team at one point. I'd be kind of surprised if he's in the broader squad, considering what he was saying on social media. So here comes Tom Curran
into Timber, who plays that back to the bowler no run.
South Africa 146 for 1. De Kock is there on 75. Bavuma's on 64 off 64. He's going along at a runner ball. And now the run rate required is dipped underneath the 5 runs per over, requiring just 4.84. The current run rate 5.5. And South Africa must be feeling so good about themselves here. Where was this form in England?
Yes, number 29.
Is David Milan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Wikipedia, thank you.
Welcome home, David.
Curran with a full toss to Temba, who laps this with a bit of a ramp down to the square leg, and it's on the bounce for a single. 147 for 1. These two are just moving along very, very nicely. 26 one ball left in the 27th over. Ashley Giles couldn't be bothered watching the cricket. He's just looking at his phone. I think he's there with his wife.
There's all sorts of people I sort of half recognize there. The guy down on the right is something. He's an actor, I think.
Yeah.
Some
British actor. Ashley Giles looking quite
bashful, to be honest. Yeah, he's big, hey?
Yes.
Yeah. Or everyone else is tiny.
Curran into Quinton de Kock. He drives that one straight back to the bowler. Tom Curran doing well to field off his own bowling for no run.
So Rian Barnard saying Bavuma certainly showing us why he has his own meme font tonight. He and QDK playing very well so far.
Timber should write speak up if you average 100 in ODIs for South Africa.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh, this is interesting. Johan Rupert, Francois Pienaar, and Graham Smith.
Is that what Johan Rupert looks like?
The richest man in South Africa, the most famous sportsman in South Africa against the most famous cricketer in South Africa, all sitting in one. I'm sure they're probably giving him tips about how to be a proper administrator and
have you noticed Graham Smith really does seem to be seeking out people to speak to at the grounds? They're constantly showing him talking to really, really senior leaders. You know, I suddenly realized looking at that, I've never ever, if that is Johan Rupert, I've never ever seen him.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like I'd always had a picture of a sort of big burly, sort of corpulent corporate fat cat that South Africa produces. I'd never realized he was a guy who looked like that.
It's not Johan Rupert.
It's not
Johan Rupert's another bigger man. I will find him.
Because in fact, I do know what Johan Rupert looks like.
Works into Temba Bavuma, dots it down to the offside. No run. Joe Denley, the fielder there. He was at that man was at the cricket. Was at the rugby too, or at the cricket too. Well, the richest man in Africa is Aliko Dangote, so that doesn't help me. I think a lot of my business friends who are listening to me right now will just be laughing at me. Works into Temba Bavuma, who drives that to point no run. How is Elon Musk the South African billionaires list and he's the top of it, even though he doesn't live in the country?
Yeah, I mean, especially considering that he's pretty much disowned the country. He doesn't want to be seen as South African. He certainly doesn't want to be seen as a product of Pretoria Boys.
Oh, there we go, Temba. Pull shot over square leg for 6.
I'm too sexy for this ball, too sexy for this ball, too sexy for this bowler. Yes, I'm too sexy for this ball, too sexy for this ball, too sexy for this bowler.
A really, really good pickup shot there where he just got himself inside the line of the ball, swung through it and got underneath it, and it just flew down to fine leg for 6.
Temba Bavuma is slowly catching up to Quinton's total here with all these boundaries that he's hitting. Works into Bavuma, full of ball. Temba drives that to mid-on, testing Tom Curran's the problem is these brothers, one's 59, one's 58. 58 to Sam Curran, and that's...
Why would they choose 59 and 58? What's the significance there in the Curran household?
Probably the years in which mom and dad were born.
Oh, geez, probably.
Yes, because I know Banton probably was born in 1998, and he's wearing 98. I know Keegan Pearson was born in 93 and his number's 93. Nothing wonderful about that. So Tim is just having it's a great, it's really, really lovely to see a man who relishes pressure like he does. Ropes in to Quinton de Kock, and he just punches that into the square on the offside, and they come through for a quick single. The throw in from the fielder was very wayward, enabling the South Africans to get through very nicely. 8 off this over already with 1 ball to go. South Africa 155 for 1.
Yeah, so South Africa managed to get that target now below 100, 95, 96 required, I think, and looking incredibly comfortable against this England attack, which has looked surprisingly toothless, actually. You realise the lack of Stuart Broad and Ben Stokes. When suddenly a team does get on top. I'm not quite sure why Stuart Broad has been cast into the wilderness of away from white ball cricket, because I don't think it was his choice, was it?
No, look, I think he just needs some rest. So just allow the man to rest, man.
I mean, I agree, but I can't imagine it being his choice.
Look, they essentially, I think England are trying to figure out a way and give other people an opportunity. If Ben Stokes plays, Tom Banton doesn't play. And so you got to factor those things in to give guys an opportunity, especially with the World Cup later on this year. Just give other guys a chance. Let Ben Stokes, he's played so much cricket over the past year. It's ridiculous. He's played I think he played in the IPL, he played at the World Cup, he's been playing in the Ashes. Tom Curran to Quinton de Kock, it's short, and Quinton pulls this behind square for 4.
It's sorry, I've turned the volume down while I was trying to do some other business. Here we go. I'm gonna send the 4x4, 4 for the 4 that stood at the door. Yes,
South Africa now getting a lot of boundaries to add on to those singles, and that's essentially what limited overs cricket is. If you just bully the bowling team down and you just break them down with singles, the poor balls will start arriving and you can latch onto them and get more boundaries. This one down the leg side, Quinton gets a bit of bat onto that. It's going to race down to fine leg. Matt Parkinson doing well there to prevent 2 runs as the South Africans get 2. 161 is the total. Owen Morgan running out of ideas right now is the England captain there. So far in this over, it's actually 2 leg byes off that last one, so 6 off this over.
It's one of the most difficult things to do in world sport, is to captain a side where the batting team is running away from you, because anything you do looks stupid.
Yes, Tom Curran again back of the length to Quinton. This one a much better ball, and Quinton just punches that to that fielder at backward point for no run.
South Africa now 161 for 1. They are well on top of this game. They require a further 98 runs with 21 overs remaining and a run rate of 4.6, which is a whole run per over less than they're currently going at. 5.6 at the moment is their run rate.
Oh, full ball hit with a lot of vengeance, but straight to
it was just smeared.
Like, why are you bowling this to me? Straight to Joe Root at mid-off. He's not happy, Quinton, but he lets I love how every ball, Quinton doesn't care about the ball before. He just lets it go. And to a certain extent, that's what makes him the great player. Was AB de Villiers is that type of player, whereas I think Jacques worried about how the conditions were changing. And that's what made him so great. Because
and you can't train that into someone. You know, I mean, it's an attitudinal thing that is just in your absolute nature of who you are.
Curran to Quinton, who takes a step and he hits Sam Curran on the boot. And he's in agony, or was in agony. I don't know what he was doing in mid-pitch, but he did go down and put his head in his hands there.
He got his hand in the way, yeah.
It went straight into Quinton hit it on the up, and Sam Curran got a hand onto that ball, and he was admonishing himself for not being able to have the reflexes of a cat to take that one. 161 for one. South Africa needing 98 off 127 balls. Quinton is flicking that to the leg side. They run through for a single. That is, the South Africans are very comfortable right now, and it will be Timber's asking for some I think it's gloves from the 12th man there. 162 for one. I honestly do think that if Quinton sees more of Calverain, he'll want to let go of the gloves and allow this kid to come in as a number 7 bat. I think he's probably one of the most exciting young talents we have. There's another kid, Snetemba Tshile, but over this past year, Calverain has exceeded, I think, a lot.
I mean, I've softened with my attitude around that a lot. I've thought about what it did for Sankara's like last 5 years of his career, and I think actually Quinny's at that stage now.
Because it'd be great to have another talent just like Quinny coming in at 6.
Which would be amazing.
You just need to work on his keeping. No better place to be with Mark Boucher as your coach.
Well, exactly.
I think everyone's going to be a wicketkeeper by the time Mark Boucher stops being coach. Because obviously Rassie can keep wicket as well. David Miller was our makeshift wicketkeeper. And another wicketkeeper batsman, Ryan Rickleton, as well, is putting up his hand there. Works to
Well, a very good afternoon to you, and welcome back to the second innings of the cricket between Pakistan, between South Africa and Pakistan, we should say. My name is Simon Guerra. I won't be here for very long. I'm just going to get our guys sorted out and make sure that everyone's on air happily. But let me introduce to you Otto, who we know very, very well. You can tweet him at the Ozmaster on Twitter, and one of our newbies. He's been on one match before, I think. Root. Welcome, Root.
How are you, Simon?
Yeah, very, very well, thanks, man. I trust that you're doing well as well. Are you on holiday at the moment, or are you still in school in between? I only ever see you on the cricket field.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you just repeat that?
Are you guys on your April holidays at the moment, or because I only ever see you on the cricket field, so I don't know what you do during the week?
No, only on vacation next week, so I still got a week of school.
So this was a poorly planned cricket, so that it didn't run over your holidays. Right. Well, the news is South Africa were bowled out for 145 runs, which, judging on last week, is probably about 80 runs below par. So with a little bit of luck, you guys might be finished in about half an hour. But I will leave you. I don't know, Ott, whether you want to start with ball by ball just to get things rolling, and then Rich, you can just sort of jump in. But I'll let you guys organise it amongst yourselves. Enjoy your broadcast.
Thank you. No problem. Rick, how's my sound coming through there?
It's a bit iffy, but I can hear you, so it's all good.
Is it? Okay. I just need to stop this. Yes. Stop that. Okay. Yes. Hello, everybody. Wherever you're listening from, welcome to Gorilla Cricket South Africa on One World Sports Radio. So, can South Africa defend 145? That's the big question. What do you think, Ruth?
It's going to be tough, especially we've got a lot of more bowlers than the previous game, but just looking of the form of Babar Azam and Fakhar, and even Rizwan, it's not going to be easy. So we're going to have to take 2 to 3 very early wickets and then explosive middle order. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Can we take Babar Azam's wicket? That's the question, I'd say.
Yeah, we're going to have to be bowling well. We got to frustrate them. Keep the runs down, because if they first get into that flow of scoring runs, freely, it's just going to get easier and easier. So we've got to frustrate them as much as possible.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to take ball by ball unless you feel that you want to give it a go, because if my connection does give me some hassles again today, you can just forget.
Yeah, I'll do ball by ball or what. Either way, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I think let's give the ball by ball to you,
Okay.
and then because I think I might need to restart at some point. Let's see how it goes. So it looks like Bjorn Fontaine is going to open the bowling from. Okay, here we go. First delivery.
Yo, you're a bit ahead of me then.
Is it? Okay, I'm on the live stream, so...
Never mind, I'm back, don't worry. No, okay, I'm good. Okay, don't worry. I was just a bit behind, but now I'm good.
Okay. So that first delivery was a dot ball by Bjorn Fontaine.
Wild ball just fired into the pads, I think. I think it's might have been just been the arm ball. Just going on with the arm.
Yeah.
Okay, so next ball to Rizwan. Just on the pads again. Just flicked to a mid-wicket area. No run. So looks like South Africa are going to try and target the pads of Rizwan, not giving him any width or anything on offer. Just be as tight as possible.
Yeah, that would be good.
So I think that's gone. I think, he's gone. Well done by Heinrich Klaasen behind the wickets. Top stuff. I mean, that is a top-class thumping. Going down the leg side, you can't see anything. It's a top stumping. Wonderful stuff. That's a perfect start for South Africa.
Yeah, exactly. Mohammad Rizwan, well out of his crease. His bat not even near the crease there, about half a meter. His back foot half a meter outside the crease, bowled around his legs there to the keeper by Bjorn Fontaine. And signal apart, obviously, because it was down leg side. So Pakistan are 1 for 1. They get their first run on the board, but their first wicket down as well.
Yeah, this is what South Africa needed. Early wickets is very key. If we can get Fakhar and Baba, it's going to be a very different game than what Pakistan wanted in the beginning. Once again, great stumping from Klaasen. It's never easy, especially when you're blinded by the batsman. You can't see it down leg. It's just done very well.
Yeah, and he had to jump to his left to get to the ball, and he just managed to reach back and destroy the wickets there. So, good glove work, good bowling. If that was the plan, it was well executed. I doubt whether the plan was to bowl wides down the leg side to Rizwan, but that ball got the wicket. It worked, yeah. So only 2 balls bowled officially. Bjorn is going to have to redo that wide. But if he takes wickets with wide deliveries, we don't mind that at all.
Yeah, exactly. So Fakhar Zaman coming in. It's going to be difficult for. It's going to be easier for Fakhar Zaman since the ball is turning into him, so he's going to be able to access that leg side that he favors so much. So we'll see. So it's Bjorn Fontaine into Fakhar over the wickets. Put in short, just 1 run to mid-wicket area. I think it's maybe just a bit too short from Bjorn Fontaine to start with, but
good line, but
wide again. Yeah, doesn't want to bowl wide again, so just making sure. I think.
Otto, you are breaking up a little bit, so I'll let you refresh if you want. Root, you're doing a great job of ball by ball, so I'll let you carry on with ball by ball, and I've now adjusted my stream to fit in with Root, so we'll go with your timing, mate. But I completely agree with you, Root. That was just such class keeping, and I'm assuming that he pushed it down the leg side deliberately there.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but it was a good piece of bowling. I think he figured that Rizwan would be expecting it into his pads and might be a bit on the front foot and not as balanced. So it's just banking on that ball to be missed, and it was well kept by Klaasen there.
You carry on doing ball by ball, so you just take us through as Fontaine bowled the rest of his.
Just bounces short of Bjorn Fontaine, straight. Shit, but yeah, I'll keep doing ball.
It was close. He pushed it back at Bjorn Fontaine. He dived across a little bit, but it went there on the bounce. So 3 for 1 at the moment.
Yeah, last ball of the over, just again to short, quick scamper single, but they make it easily. So first over gone, 4 for 1. I reckon
he really dragged that one down. I think if that had been a little bit later on in the innings, the batsman would have had the time and the foresight to rock back and really slap it. As it was, he just played it to mid-on.
Yeah,
they went through for 1. So after the first over, Pakistan 4 for 1. The Rizwan is the batsman out. He was stumped down the leg side for no run by Heinrich Klaassen off the bowling of 14. Pretty much exactly the start that South Africa needed.
Exactly, and it's going to be interesting. I'm thinking now, are they going to be bowling from the other end? Are they going to keep with spin with Linda, who's been doing so well in the power play, or are they going to go with maybe a Mulder or somebody else? I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. No, they are going with Mulder. So they are going for the swing option. So first ball, just around fourth stump, head down to cover, no run. So it's an interesting choice. I think maybe Mulder's feeling a little hard done by Linda, since he's been opening the bowling so long. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Mulder can do. This is his debut, so we'll have to see what he can do. So
is he on T20 debut?
Yeah, it's T20
this is his T20 debut. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I mean, as a country, I think we're still trying to figure out what sort of player he's going to be.
And now Fakhar Zaman just comes down the track, smashes it straight between mid-wicket and mid-on. That is just a proper slap, I think. It's not technically a proper cricket shot, but it's just a slap. But it gets a result. It's 4 runs.
Yeah, a slog pull shot, we could say. But very, very aggressive, and it looks like Pakistan have some early dinner plans. I certainly won't mind if we bowl them out before the 10th over or so. They're looking to maybe take this away early and just attack from the start.
We've got a tweet in from Chris TB saying Rizwan gone early equals SA win. At least that's been the pattern so far.
Or some positivity, at least. Not everybody can be so optimistic, but at least there's somebody that can be.
Well, look, Pakistan can't lose the series, and to save our face, we need to draw this just to get some more respectability, a little bit of respectability back.
So Mulder coming around, just Yorker length, quick single, scamper single. Oh, very close, very risky. They're taking on everybody, so it's very, very close. They're playing with fire here, but as one thing from Pakistan we've become used to is they're running between the wickets. It's been good running between the wickets, but sometimes I'm just pushing the limit a bit, I think.
Yes, I'm not sure how many other batsmen would have called that run. The ball almost went straight to the fielder, and it looks like Vian Mulder has overstepped the line on that last delivery. So it's a free hit.
Are they going to call it a no ball, though? I don't think
I'm not sure they have called it no ball, have they? It hasn't shown up on me.
Yeah, but it does look like a no ball. I don't think they've called it. So Babar Azam goes out now. He's not going to be very happy.
It's a few microns of that shoe behind the line there.
Oh, and then it's just clipped by Babar Azam for 4, just too straight from Mulder, and just clipped past Van Leg, who's in the circle. And Babar Azam has his first boundary in this 4th T20 between South Africa and Pakistan. The score is 13 for 1 after 1.5.
Okay, so after the good start in the first over, Pakistan have now repaired the damage, and they are back onto the required run rate almost. If they end the over like this, if the last ball is a dot ball, that'll be 6.5 per over. Oh yes, we can see now from the other angle there was just a little bit of Mulder behind the line there, so fair ball there. No ball.
Mulder to finish it over, dot ball to mid-on. Fakhar Zaman wanting to go again, but not taking the risk. So after 2 overs, South Africa 13 for 1. So after that first over, Mulder just maybe leaking a bit too much, but hopefully he can come back in his second over.
Yeah, he looks very disappointed. At least that 1-4 down the legs, down to fine leg was an error in his line to the right-hander. So he knows.
Yeah, but I don't think the first one was as much of an error. They just think it was a good shot by Fakhar Zaman coming down the track.
Yeah, those extra 4 runs in the over making the difference between a good and a bad bowling over. And it looks to me like Bjorn Fortuin will continue in the power play.
So Bjorn Fortuin coming over the wickets to Fakazamon, and he just sweeps it down the leg side, just too straight from Bjorn Fortuin again on the leg stump, and Fakar just putting out that sweep shot. He's become so renowned to playing just too straight from Bjorn Fortuin, and it's a good shot for 4.
Once again, I'm not sure if we had a fine leg in the ring there, but once again, good placement.
Good tweeting from him, Paul. I'm not sure I fully understand it. Says the problem about acting like the smartest guy in the room is that you must always be right with your calls. That's the burden of going against the grain. This guy and his WhatsApp group think we are fools. I don't know whether he thinks Gorilla SA are fools, whether the Proteas are fools, who knows?
They were talking about leadership styles, management styles, and not being, yes, we see this next ball.
And it's just clipped to fine leg. So I think it's just a bit too straight again from Bjorn Fortuin. He was just getting that line a bit more towards off stump and not putting it on leg. You getting the batsman to play straight and not into their strengths of going across the line or sweeping it. So it's just about getting that line. So let's see. Bjorn Fortuin coming
went straight to fine leg this time.
Oh, and it's just a Yorker length delivery. Don't see that very often. A pace bowler. Oh, and now there's a few words between Babar Azam and Bjorn Fortuin. Not quite sure what they're saying to each other, but there looks to be a few words. Bjorn Fortuin doesn't look very happy.
Yeah, it was a bit of a crowd catch, and in the absence of a crowd, there wasn't even an opportunity to sort of throw it up a little bit to get some amusement going. Yeah, I think you've got to be quite confident before you start sledging Babar Azam in his current form.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh yes,
especially if you are, a sort of spinner on the very, very outside of the international scene.
Yeah, exactly, and especially since I think he's number 1 T20 batsman of the world, or he's number 2 at the moment.
He's certainly number 1 ODI. I'm not sure where he is in T20s.
So last ball of the over. Oh, and it's plumb. Oh no, it's not plumb, but it's hit him on the pads. Maybe just going over the top. Says he's to come down the track, but well bowled by Bjorn Fortuin. A good over, 6 from it. So South Africa, Pakistan on 19 for 1 after 3.
Yeah, so this is interesting. I gave one of these the other day, and I got an enormous amount of abuse from the batsman. Well, no, what happened these days is because the batsmen aren't allowed to sledge the umpire directly. They mutter at your colleague, and your colleague is supposed to shut it down as well, but mine didn't. And what had happened is the batsman came dancing down, and he got hit very, very low on the front foot, and it was it was definitely going on. But he felt because he came dancing down that he was immune from LBW. And it's an interesting one because the law says I was right, but certainly cricket protocol says that the batsman was right. And that's sort of what happened there. The difference being that in that time, it hit him high, even though he had double steps. And so it wasn't going to hit anyway. It was certainly the right call by umpire, is that Sean George there, I think.
So let's Williams coming into the attack. Just first ball to Babar Azam on the pads, flicked around the corner. I think it's going to be 2 towards square leg. So 2 runs there. So Williams, hands on heads, almost beating Babar Azam, but 2 runs in the end. Simon, it's like
that one was right on the off-stump line, and that was a ski shot there by Babar Azam, fetching the ball from outside off-stump on the off-stump line. If he'd missed that, Lazard would have been in business there.
Simon, it's like
just on middle and off.
It's like your call on me on Sunday. I wasn't very happy with that either, but I had to accept it,
Yeah, you were out, I'm afraid. I'm afraid, mate. This has got to be a first for guerrilla cricket, actually. That's probably the first, either for guerrilla. It's certainly the first for Guerrilla SA that we've had a situation where we've had a standing umpire and a player from Sunday League on air at the same time, and we've had that sort of interaction. Yeah, Young Roots has a habit of getting himself in as opener for the Pirates President's team. And then when he's got about, around about 10, like as you reach double figures, you then start liking to play across the line. I watched you get a top edge once, and then I gave you out LBW sweeping.
Yeah, I was on 14 this weekend. And then, okay, my Wi-Fi just packed up a bit, so I'm just quickly getting back into the cricket. But yeah, I was on 14.
It was a single. It was single out to cover from Babar Azam, and was a bit of a fumble. So went through for the single and then made it safely, and then another single by Fakhar Zaman to put Babar Azam back on strike out to mid-off. 23 for 1 after 3.3.
Yeah, but I was playing the spin so well, Simon, and then the one ball that's probably just a bit too full to sweep. And then, of course, you give me. I mean, we colleagues in umpiring, you still give me. I mean,
there's a lot of overlapping. It's not often you get. Sorry, carry on, Otto.
But Babar Azam with a single down to mid-on, 24 for 1.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap because obviously you and I commentate together now. I think although this is the first time you and I have actually been on air together, but also I mean you are. So what you keep for Pirates, and you umpire. You are a qualified CGL umpire as well.
Yeah. So Lazar William coming around the wickets. Oh, just wide down the leg side. Well stopped by Klaasen, and it's wide ball. So I have to re-bowl that again.
That was very, very wide. I'm not quite sure what he was planning there. Because it looked like he was put off by the batsman moving, didn't he?
Yeah. It looks like it was just maybe thrown off his line a bit. But I guess, and it's close to that's a big no ball. That is a big no ball.
And it was a no ball as well. So they've got to go with the no ball then,
Yeah, since it's happened first. So free hit to Fakhar Zaman, I think that's not the right person to give a free hit to at this time, especially after his recent form. Interesting question. I didn't know that a bowler can, after he's bowled a wide ball, can go over the wickets even though he started around. I didn't know you could swap his end that he wanted to bowl from.
That is
they're sending him back around the wicket now. They're sending him back around the wicket now because it was the no ball.
It's a free wide again. Just trying to go for that wide Yorker. So this... not very good bowling from Lazar Williams. You can see what he tried to do with the wide Yorker, but just not, executing it properly.
Yeah, I missed his line by about 15, 20 centimeters there, well outside the guideline on the offside or for the left-hander.
So coming in,
plan was right.
And it's a dart ball just coming into the pads, hitting the pads one leg by, I don't think it was off the bat. So well bowled by Williams, especially off a free hit. So I don't think you'll be too unhappy with that.
Yeah, let's just explore Root's point there because it's a very, very good one and it's never occurred to me either. What happened was Williams bowled this no ball right arm over the wicket. Now, you're not allowed to change the field once for the free hit. The field's got to stay the same unless the batsman have crossed and it's a left-right-hander situation.
Yeah.
Let's just let this go through.
Oh, they squared Babar Azam properly there, but it's well kept up by Babar. So end of the fourth over, 27 for 1.
And so what's happened is Williams then chose to go right arm around the wicket, which you're right. I mean, there's a part of me that if that had happened on the field and the batsman had queried it, I would have had to go back and check playing conditions. But I think you are allowed to.
Yeah, it's a weird one because I remember on Sunday there was a similar situation. And you had to say to the fielders they can't change the field. So it's a very interesting situation. I didn't quite know what the answer is to that. We'll have to go through my law book again.
Yeah, so just to correct myself there, they did not send him back to bowl around the wicket. He did, in fact, change his bowling attack there, Lazar Williams. South Africa were 30 for 1 at the same stage. But, of course, we all know what happened in the end. Bjorn Fortuin continues with his third over.
So I think he's completely within his rights to do it, and I'll explain after this ball why.
Okay, so it's just a bit too straight again. Just flick to a cow position. It looks like too easy for the likes of Pakistan. So 2 off the first ball.
So we've all had situations where we've seen guys who, they bowl 3 wides or 2 wides and a very wide ball, which gets called a no ball. So in the first balls of the over, and they get frustrated and they say, okay, we're going to change and we're going to come right arm around, because it's just not working for them for that one.
Oh, and it's a big shot by Fakhar Zaman, just in the slot from Bjorn Fontaine, just to full on the pads. and he goes to that slog sweep that I tried to play on Sunday, couldn't quite execute, so I might have to take a few tips from Faka here. But well played in the end.
So, yeah, I think you're within your rights as a bowler to try and make sure that you're bowling as well as you can. So what you could also be, I mean, imagine you were a guy who, could bowl. There was a guy called Lance Sherrill when I was at school who could bowl left arm off spin and right arm pace. And
so you could bowl with both arms. I mean, it's another great shot by Faka Zaman, straight down the ground. 6 more, 2 in a row, back-to-back sixes. It's becoming a very expensive over for South Africa. I mean,
indeed. I'm afraid they've got Bjorn Fortuyn's number here a bit.
Yeah, so it's similar to a guy from the Titans who bowls left arm off spin to the right-handers and right arm off spin to the left-handers.
Yeah, so in the free hit, he would be completely within his rights to swap over action. Yeah, and I think the same goes with going over and around. I am very, very glad that we've been able to figure that out while commentating, and not where it's suddenly arisen on a Sunday when I'm umpiring.
Yeah, so Fucky's...
So now it makes sense, Ruud, why you're such a natural at this commentating thing.
Yeah, just, using my umpiring brain, but...
Absolutely, yeah. No, good job.
So Bjorn Fortuyn coming around the wicket, I think, to Babar Azam. Babar Azam coming down the track. Are they going to take a quick single? No, Faka sends him back. So well bowled by Bjorn Fortuyn, making the adjustment. You just bowl it a bit shorter. I think that's what I don't think that's what the Pakistan bowlers did so well to Yanaman. They didn't really adjust their lines when he came down the track to them. So well done by Bjorn Fortuyn, I think. So last ball of the over, coming around the wicket, straight his delivery, just flicked off his pads. I think it should only be 1 down to mid-wicket. Yeah, it is. End of the 5th over. That over went for 15. So 43 for 1 after 5.
Ouch. So what do you reckon you're taking? Well, if Fortuyn bowls his last over, it won't be in the power play anymore. So maybe use him a bit later rather, because it looks like Faka Zaman likes the way he's delivering the ball. Yeah,
I think they might bring in Linda from the other end now, since he has been a very key weapon for South Africa against the Pakistan top order. So if he can get us a few wickets up front now in the next maybe 4 to 5 overs and really expose the middle order, will just be a positive towards us. So now it's Zal William coming over the wickets to Babar Azam, and he just smashes it over mid-on's head for 4 top shots. I think
okay, who we lost there? Sweet. I mean that looked like a player who wasn't even, he had come down 3 age groups to face someone. It was through the line.
Exactly.
I mean, these two at the moment don't look like they shouldn't even be on the same field, which is not really a huge indictment on Williams. It's that both of these guys are in such form.
Through the point region, 4 more top shot by Babar Azam. You can see this guy has just come off 120. If he bats like this, I mean, brilliant.
51 for Pakistan for the loss of 1, and I agree with you, Simon. It's a bit of a mismatch here at the moment. Lazard Williams with his chin in his hand, thinking, how the hell am I going to get this guy's wicket? Many other people have asked the same question.
And I was just flicked to a mid-on region, no run. So, a good comeback by Lazard Williams after being hit 2 times in a row. And that previous boundary was also the 50-run partnership between Faka and Babar Azam, coming off 32 deliveries, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's great stuff here by Pakistan, really stamping their authority onto this game early. And Babar Azam,
quick single to mid-on, and it's an easy single, just flick down to mid-on again. So that's the one thing I think Pakistan are doing so well, is even though they're not scoring boundaries to say here and there, they at least keeping the run rate going if they don't score boundaries, what South Africa didn't do. So that's a positive thing for Pakistan, especially with the World Cup coming up. So things that South Africa can learn from them.
Yeah, just impossible to get Babar Azam's wicket at the moment. And
I know.
I thought that Wednesday's game was a warning shot by Pakistan to the rest of the world to say, watch out.
Oh, and it's a top cricket shot by Fakhar Zaman. Is it going to go to the boundary? Yes, it is. Top shot straight down the ground. Yorkish length delivery, but well kept out and just sit down the ground. The timing was amazing.
That was incredible. I mean, he was on his back foot, sort of squared up almost. He just dropped his bat on it and went all the way.
And it's just beaten front of this, and it's just amazing timing. When somebody times a ball like that, you know they're in form. I mean,
that's exceptional.
Top cricket shots.
Absolutely beautiful.
We got a couple of tweets in. Chepo Taylor saying, finally get to experience Guerrilla SA on a road trip, and I must say the hype is justified. Love hearing it. #SME. And Jeff Perkins, hello Jeff, says, oh good, Simon is on. We can be assured of some meteorological analysis. How are the tables? I'll have to explain to Root about Simon, #Simon's table so good.
So that's the end of the power play.
57.
Pakistan, 57 for 1 after 6.
That was excellent batting by Pakistan in the power play.
So, Root, back in the day when we all used to be in the same studio, and I really miss those days, actually. It massively improves the sound of the station, I think. I started a campaign to stop this business of strike rate being out of 100. It should be out of 6 balls faced, because that's how we think about things in cricket. So, if you see that a batsman has a strike rate of 100, and you know that he has to score at 6 runs and over, you don't have to start thinking back and forth, is 100, how much, and doing the maths. It should just be his strike rate is 6, or his strike rate is 8. So we actually had a table to translate the incorrect 100 strike rate into the correct 6 format.
Yeah. Okay.
Magala into the attack. First ball to mid-off, and they take a quick single. Let's see if Magala can have a better start to his bowling attack in this game. They've kept him out of the power play to help him just recover from that psychological smash that he just absolutely decimated in that first over in the last game. I think it was the last game.
Yeah,
I think it was the game before, because I heard them interviewing him about
yes, I was
that over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Was the second T20.
Short ball to Babar Azam, just hit down to a deep square leg, so it's just 1 run. I was listening to Danny Morrison commentating on the IPL, and he said that cricket teams don't really need bowling coaches or fielding coaches or anything like that. They just need a psychologist.
Sports psychologist.
To help the bowlers after they've been smashed for 20 runs in an over.
I would agree.
Top shot by Fakhar Zaman. Magala just getting too full outside off, and it's just carved over a deepish point. So 6 runs to add to Fakhar Zaman's tally.
Not looking good for the start.
Today, I would have caught that ball, because that's where I usually sit, just a bit higher up on the grass bank on point as the bowler bowls from the Henops River end to the left-hander.
So, sorry, is that? I'm trying to see where it is. This is across below the side screen there,
this is going short, outside off. I think it's probably going to be another 6. Yes, it is. Just too short, outside off, and it's just smashed over point. And I think, it's not 50 yet. It's 47 for Fakhar Zaman. So back-to-back 6s again. They're just running away with it a bit now. South Africa need a desperate wicket. Otherwise, they can say goodbye to this series. It's just too wide once more again from Magala.
I think those wickets that we lost, what was it, 7 wickets for 30-odd runs?
Yeah.
That was where Pakistan took the game away from us completely. You can't score 144 in a T20 international at Centurion Park unless it's...
especially with such a...
Unless somebody drove over the pitch with a 4x4 the night before or something, I don't know.
But it's a 71 for pitch 1 at the moment. It's a lovely batting track. If Pyrex had prepared pitches like that, my average wouldn't be 15, it would be like 17. So I'm blaming it on Pirates.
Blaming the equipment, I see. Okay, all right. Dot ball there by Magala, so that's good.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No,
it's a no ball,
no.
just overstepping.
It's a no ball.
It's a Sanda Magala. Oh my word.
Oh, that's one thing Pakistan didn't do is bowl as many extras as we have already. It's just, this is, it's professional cricket. This is just childish mistakes, really. This is what you expect at Prez level, not at international level. Oh, and it's short, and I think it's hit him in the helmet. Well bowled by Magala. Good follow-up. Oh, and it's just one run off that ball. So well bowled by Magala. I think it is going to be a leg bye. We'll just have to wait and see. Wait for the umpire's signal. Yeah, it is a leg bye. So well bowled by Magala, seeing that it was a free hit.
Cliffy Deacon is coming up to assess Fakhar Zaman's helmet. 73 for 1 in the 7th over with 1 ball to go. And,
let me give you... okay.
Yeah, and Fakhar Zaman is on 47 of 23. Yes, go, Simon.
He really did get that smash right on the grill. Let me give you a couple of tweets again from Jeff. Jeff says, well, at least South Africa came up with one solution to the problem of how to stop Pakistan chasing 200 again.
Good one.
And then he also said, cricket's response to Simon's campaign to base strike rates on a per 6 ball basis was to invent the 100. Yeah, I'm afraid, Jeff, I screwed that up for all of us.
So Cliffy Deacon giving Fakhar Zaman the head injury assessment there.
Looks like he's almost about to give him a kiss on the forehead to make him feel
Yeah, exactly.
Like newlywed couple there.
Yeah.
Staring deeply into each other's eyes.
Yeah, that's one thing club cricket should really bring into, especially with the amount of times a few people in Prez level get in on the helmet. You should really bring in that thing as well. I mean, how many people play with concussions? Yeah.
Geez, at Prez level, we're usually happy that everyone is just sober, let alone like actually, concussed them.
We should just let Simon do all the concussion tests just to keep him busy between overs.
I must tell you, one thing that I have noticed this season is that the pink ball that is often used on Saturdays, I'm sure it's not of the same quality that is used for test match cricket. But whenever a batsman gets hit on the head by one of those things, it leaves a lovely pink cherry on his helmet. Really does give him something to take home and show his mum.
Yeah, it really does, but it doesn't make as nice cherries on the bat as a red ball does. I've had that experience. There's no cherries on the bat. I mean, I only score runs in Saturday cricket, but there's no cherries to show for it.
So you look like a real novice when you come walking out with your clean bat there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's a good ploy. That could be a good wolf in sheep's clothing attitude or approach there.
Yeah.
So just to let you know what's going on. In fact, here we are about to start again.
Magala coming over the wickets to Babar Azam. Oh, is that no ball or no wide ball? Okay. Full toss down the leg side, wide ball. So still 1 ball left of the over. So and once again...
But no, that's interesting because I think he gave a warning there.
I think it's isn't a 1 for the over, showing the umpire just confirming that it's 1 ball left of the over.
Oh, it might have been. That's exactly what it was, yes.
Yeah, I was just...
Okay.
Yeah, Simon, one thing I've noticed on Sunday is you didn't give Graham 1 warning, even though he bowled 3 no balls in a row, 3 no balls over waist height.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the end of that over, by the way, 75 for 1. Yeah, I actually went back and reviewed the law subsequently because I was thinking that it had to be manifestly dangerous or deliberate.
Don't expect it to be deliberate. It's not deliberate. Yeah. It's not if it doesn't.
But I actually went back and read the law last night or the night before. And yeah, you're quite right. It's that part of the judgment is not nearly as important as I thought it was. And actually, after the second one, he should have a warning, and after the third one, he's off.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have endeared me to the fielding side at all if I had pulled off their opening bowler in the third ball of the innings.
No, please don't do that. I mean, we like you as an umpire, and we like to give you good reviews, but that wouldn't have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, I
First
wouldn't.
ball by Mulder down to third man for a single, 76 for 1. Fakhar Zaman on strike on 47 of 23. Babar Azam 23 of 20.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up an interesting thing. That the most important thing is common sense with umpiring. Now, it's a little bit different at Test match level or international level, where the eyes of the world are upon you, and you've really got to go by the letter of the law. You also are not going to have a situation where a guy bowls 3 fast full tosses at international level.
No, not
completely by accident.
So Mulder coming around the wickets, well kept out by Fakhar Zaman. So dot ball.
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly tell you.
There starts by Jan Mulder. He's got some fire in his belly after that first over, where he admonished himself a bit for conceding that extra 4 that shouldn't have been. He looks like he's bowling a better line this time around.
Yeah.
I mean, I can certainly tell you, if a player got hit with a full toss, I'd be far more inclined to give a warning straight away.
Yeah. So Mulder coming around the wickets again, going down leg, just too wide. I can see he's trying to cramp up Fakhar Zaman, but it's just not working at the moment. So wide ball. South Africa have to come up with a tactic to at least get a wicket.
This might be the worst I've seen South Africa bowl ever. Just trying to look at how
definitely.
many. We've had 4 wides and 2 no balls. Is that all? It feels like much more than that.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the other balls that went down the leg side, one was a wicket, and the others were 4 down to fine leg, and single to fine leg in the ring.
Yeah, I think South Africa's tactic to get wickets are bowling down leg and hopefully, getting something there. Since it worked on the third ball of the over, so they're trying to, stick with that tactic, just not working at the moment.
No, the last one was a full toss on middle and leg, flicked down to wideish, long on by Fakhar Zaman for 2 runs.
Yeah, so Mulder coming around the wickets again to Fakhar Zaman. Hit him in the pads, no run. Good bowling here by Mulder. Much tighter line than his first over, not actually giving Fakhar Zaman anything to work with.
Yeah,
just a reminder, you can tweet us at Gorilla SA. That's GUERILLASA, Gorilla SA. Follow us on Twitter as well. Please do. We put stuff out every now and again. And of course, look up our older uncles as well, Gorilla Cricket, the UK branch, who I think are doing IPL at the moment.
Yeah.
And the One World Sports Radio YouTube channel. That's also a nice one to have in your subscriptions there on YouTube.
So Mulder full toss again. Just clipped to a deep mid wicket, 1 run. That's 50 up as well for Fakhar Zaman, 50 off 27. Just keeping going on his on his good form. South Africa, you got to take at least 2 or 3 quick wickets. Otherwise, I don't see you finishing before 6 o'clock. But then again, if you don't finish that at 6 o'clock, we can at least go watch IPL.
The IPL is going to be finished as well. Let me tell you about that quickly. Punjab Kings are 87 for 7 after 16.5 overs at the moment against the Chennai Super Kings.
Yeah, that you don't expect. You don't expect that. I mean, especially after last season, you don't expect Chennai Super Kings to be bowling teams out or having them 70 for 7 or low totals. So it's good to see. It's good to see Chennai Super Kings at least back into winning ways.
So
the damage has been done by Chahar.
Was like last delivery was a dot ball by Jan Mulder and another aggressive attempted mock shy at the stumps with the ball in his hand at least. But Pakistan just a bit ahead of South Africa now after 8 overs. South Africa was 71 for 1, and Pakistan have actually scored 2 more sixes. They've scored 4 sixes where we had 2 at the same stage and 6 fours where we had 9. But of course, I think, at about over 13, we lost all those wickets for not much runs.
So Shamsi coming to the attack, the number 1 T20 bowler in the world. So let's hopefully hope he can prove himself. Yeah, I was surprised.
He was for a while, yeah. In fact, I think it might still be.
Oh.
Yeah, he is still. I'm surprised as well, but yeah, I reckon he's a good bowler. I just didn't think he was that good. But anyway, so Shamsi coming over the wickets, left arm to Fakhar Zaman, just a bit too short first ball. 1 run, I think. Yeah. Oh, misfielded by George Linder. Oh, that is not what you want to see it on an international level. You do not want to see that at international level.
This almost looks like South Africa or the touring side, and they've got one leg on the plane. One foot on the plane. This is usually the type of lackluster thing you see from a touring side, but not
delivery. Shamsi just going a bit too wide again. Does look like there's a bit of turn on purchase.
He's getting real turn.
Just went through the legs of George Linder the previous delivery. It's just taking your eyes off the ball. It does happen. Ask any player that has played cricket in his life. It does happen. So
but I mean, you look at how good these fields are. It's largely unforgivable. Huh?
It is. It really is.
Yeah, I just went right through his legs.
That last delivery.
It does look like that midfield. It did keep a bit low. It does look like it, but still. So Shamsi again, wide and short, just one this time, hopefully. Yeah, he goes for the long barrier just to make sure, Linda. So 1 run to sweeper.
Let me bring you that list of top-ranked bowlers at the moment. They're all spinners. Tabrez Shamsi is at the top. I think we need an inquiry into exactly what's going on there. Rashid Khan is number 2. Ash Nagar is number 3. Adil Rashid is number 4. Mujib-ur Rahman, who I'm assuming is also a spinner. I actually don't know the Afghanistan guys quite well.
Yeah, he's from Afghanistan. He's a very economical bowler. He's got this weird action. He plays for Kings 11 Punjab as well.
Tim Southey is number 6, and Adam Zamtagram is number 7. And Ish Sodhi number 8. So they're all spinners except for Tim.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if Adam Zampa actually gets a few games in the IPL this year. Maybe replacing somebody in the RCB team. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if he gets a few games since he is number 7 ranked in T20s.
Yeah, he's not the sort of player who often gets the nod in IPL, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't, but he's a good bowler. I think he's very underrated. So Shamsi coming in again, shortish length to sweeper, and this time Linda just doesn't get there, so it's 4 more. 11 already of this over, and still a ball to come. So it's just a bit too short from Shamsi.
We were just talking earlier about Babar Azam being number 1 ODI ranked batsman. He's number 3 in T20s, behind David Milan and Aaron Finch.
Oh, yeah, okay, David Milan.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Than Shamsi being top. Yeah.
So it's short again from Shamsi, and it's just 1 down to Linda. So good over for Pakistan, 12 off it. Pakistan 92 for 1 after 9.
Yeah, Zaman playing with the spin. Shamsi is getting turned off the wicket, but he's just leaning back onto his back foot and cutting those balls down to that point and backward point boundary area. The one that Linda couldn't get to at all was well behind square, behind point. And 92 for 1 after 9 overs. And Pakistan are actually accelerating their run rate a little bit. This is a bit disheartening. 53 runs still needed off 66 balls.
Tweet in from Jeff Perkins saying, Simon advocating that breaking the laws of cricket is best practiced when not being closely scrutinised. Is he angling for a coaching position with Cricket Australia? Always, Jeff.
So, Simon, if I'm not mistaken, you can only have 5 out in this stage of the game. Or is it 4?
5 out.
5 out.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's Lazard Williams coming over the wickets to Fakhar Zaman. Yorkish length. No run. Straight back to the bowler. Top ball.
All the dogs in my entire area have decided to start howling. So I apologize for any noise in the background.
That's cool. That's cool.
That was stopping a 4. Zaman got proper hold of that. Straight back to the bowler, luckily for Williams. Fakhar Zaman on 60 off 33, Babar Azam 24 off 22, 92 for 1.
So Williams coming over the wicket. Skied, is it going to carry? Yes, it is. It's a good catch by, I'm not quite sure who's taken it. Yes. It does look Vian Mulder that took it. I'm not quite sure. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, it is Vian Mulder.
The backward point. Yeah.
Top catch. And Lazard Williams just showing why he's in the South African team, taking another crucial wicket. Is that the breakthrough that South Africa needed? It might
It better be. It better be.
I think that ship has sailed, gents. we needed breakthroughs. We needed 3 or 4 wickets in the first over to have any real chance. I should say.
We need 3 hat tricks. That's what we need.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So the one goes for 60 or 34 balls. Caught Mulder, bowled Lazard Williams. Strike rate of 176. So Simon, that would be a strike rate of 9. No.
9.
9 and 10. Over. Oh, Simon has left us shortly.
Okay.
So on Simon's table, that is so good.
Yeah.
So that's 70. So that would be 10 runs and over. I'll have to check.
I'm not quite sure you work it
I
out.
need to print.
I would love to know how you work it out. Someone must send me this strike rate.
Instead of runs per 100 balls, you calculate runs per 6 balls faced.
Okay.
So you need to work it back to a strike rate of 100 would be 6 runs and over. That's 1 run per ball.
Mohamed Hafiz coming to the wickets. This guy's got experience if you've ever seen anything like it. I mean, played over 103 games for Pakistan. Probably one of their pillars for many years. So Lazard Williams coming over the wickets to Hafiz. First ball bowled, I'm presuming. Nope, not over it looks like it's over middle for 4 runs. Top shot. So might have jinxed Williams a bit there, but anyway. Good job.
Mid-off is inside the ring. And so no danger there from Mohamed Hafiz. If mid-on had been on the boundary, that would have dropped short. So he was really expertly played that over the head of mid-off and just bouncing halfway between the ring and the boundary for a beautiful 4 there by Mohamed Hafiz.
Armchair Cricket Podcast says, Pakistan going at 10 to the over after 9 overs with 1 wicket lost, and the required is under 5 and over. Shall we agree that this one is sunk? A thoroughly professional Pakistan poised to take the series. Maybe switch over to the IPL. Oh, wait, that one looks like one-way traffic too.
So are you guys going to be doing the IPL?
No, the Guerrilla Cricket UK guys do it, and that's plenty.
No, they cover almost all the games, I think, if not all of them. So they are on air at the moment, I would assume, for the Punjab Kings, Chennai Super Kings, the Royal Rumble in the IPL. Here in Centurion, 97 for 2, Pakistan need 145 to take both white ball series that they came to play here in South Africa. And
Lazard Williams coming over the wickets. Down leg again, wide ball. Just not getting his line of length. It's just been too many extras at the moment.
This is horrible. I was actually jokingly telling my wife that I might again need only 1 beer for this match after we chased that score on Sunday so quickly. And it looks like this is going to be the case again today. 98 for 2, 9.4 overs gone, and Pakistan just need 47 to win.
So short.
10 overs to go.
And it's taken by Tabriz Shamsi. Williams 2. He's got 2 now. Wonderful over there so far. 6 off the over, 2 wickets, and that's Babar Azam gone for 24 of 23. Caught at deep third man by Tabriz Shamsi. So Williams making the impact at the moment. Pakistan 98 for 3 after 9.5. So, let's be a bit optimistic here, guys. Let's say South Africa for the win.
At least we got Azam's wicket. At least we got Babar Azam's wicket before he gets to another record score, a personal best and a best ever, whatever. Shams almost ran over the boundary there. But just leaving us there with his arcing run very close to the boundary rope. That would have been the worst ending to the series.
Yeah.
Somebody taking a catch at third man and then running over the boundary as part of their celebration. That would sum up the series, I would say, both the white ball series.
Pretty much.
Babar Azam, 24 of 23. and he was caught by Shamsi off the bowling of Lazard Williams with 1 ball to go in the 10 over 98 for 3.
You know, he's going to celebrate one day and then accidentally run off the over the boundary, and then, I would love to see, I want to be there when that day comes.
Okay, so we've got a tweet in from Sabir Majid, who was actually sent on by Armchair Cricket Podcast, saying, I don't care if he's got 999 dismissals in international cricket. Mark Boucher is not international coaching material. He has no clue what he's doing. Pass it on.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way from the outside. I would agree with that. Being a pure fan and not a cricket expert or journalist, like or umpiring or anything like that, but it certainly looks that way from the outside. I'm sure that's not true, but it looks that way.
What we got to keep in mind is that all our, how can you put it, our big guns, the likes of a Quinton de Kock, Kagiso Rabada, all of these guys that normally are in our T20 squad are out to the IPL. And these guys haven't actually had time to bond with each other and not figured out each other's games, as well as the Kock and Rabada know each other's games. So it's not, you don't have that gel as much yet. So it's going to take time. So we can criticize, but we don't know what's happening in the inside. So it's easy to criticize from outside.
Oh yes,
I don't think he's as bad as he's made out to be.
Exactly.
No, as I said, I'm sure that there's a lot going on that we're not party to, or how do you say, that we don't know about. So it certainly looks horrible from the outside.
So Shamsi coming over the wickets, just clipped for 1 to a square leg region. So that's the 100 up for Pakistan as well. 100 for 3 after 10.1. So just going a little under 10 and over. So we're going to have to take a few more wickets to make this game a bit interesting, if we can say it like that.
Yeah, Hafiz is on 5 of 2, and Haider is on 2 of 2. Hafiz is facing Shamsi.
A couple of things on Mark Boucher. On the one hand, if you not only take away the IPL players, but you take away all the Kolpak guys who are not back in the system yet, this is basically a third string team.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that, the fact that we lose guys like Devon Conway, who go to New Zealand and immediately start scoring runs in buckets. South African cricket is very, very ill. You don't have to, be following the game that closely to know that administratively it's an absolute disaster at this level, at this international level, with the CSA board, being interim and not properly constituted and all sorts of things.
So Shamsi coming over the wickets to Haider. Well bowled, outside off, no run, just hit back straight to him. And also,
I'm uncomfortable with the fact that Director of Cricket, Graham Smith, and Head Coach, Mark Boucher, and at one stage, Director of Batting, or whatever it was called, I don't know, Batting Specialist Coach, Jacques Callis, are all big buddies. I mean, they would stand as best men in each other's weddings, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's not a healthy situation either.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And I mean, it's we can all debate on what's happening and what's going on, but it's tough to say because I don't think we're going to put in a place of a director of cricket if you don't have who's going to take Graham Smith's spot. I mean, he does know the game pretty well. I mean, he's one of South Africa's most successful captains. So I think it's a good position for him to be in. I just think that maybe Mark shouldn't be the head coach, but maybe just say the batting coach or keep a fielding coach, and maybe get somebody else in.
You do have the other problem that those three guys are the best in the world at their respective disciplines.
Exactly.
Or the most successful anyway, which is so it does make it very, very tricky.
4 singles and a dot so far in Shamsi's over, so not much excitement in the cricket.
So up 4 from it, 103 for 3 Pakistan after 11. So that's a good over from Shamsi.
Good over. 103 for 3, that's right. 7 or 4 for Mohammad Hafiz, and Haider is on 3 or 5.
I did try and fight back against Armchair Cricket Podcast on the tweets to say that don't leave for the IPL yet, because we've just taken the 3rd wicket and there's light yet. And they just replied to say, no, just a little too late. not in a T20, and not even Pakistan.
42 from 54 needed.
I mean, if Mumbai Indians could bring back their game against KKR or RCB, their game against who was it? Who they beat? Sunrisers Hyderabad. I mean, anything's possible, you know.
Yeah, you only need 10 good deliveries to dismiss an entire cricket team. And
Exactly.
Peshluquayo is into the attack. Mpo is going to be even more confused now. I was listening on Wednesday when he was ranting and raving about why Peshluquayo get picked, and again this morning. And then you don't give him a bowl with the guy with the most wickets in the team. So that was a good point there by Mpo. I also didn't understand that.
And it's just one run down to pulled by Hafiz, one run down to deeper wickets. Yeah,
Ooh, that almost carried to Markram.
Yeah, I did. But one thing I think the South Africa with Lequia is a genuine wicket taker. But I think the problem with him is like Hassan Ali. Who they take wickets, but they are quite expensive as well. So they take a lot of wickets, but they are expensive.
But I mean, you can at least just give him a snuff. Just give him an over or two.
It's clipped off his legs, harder, and it's caught at deep square leg. So Lequia, second ball into his spell, he takes a wicket. That's what Klaasen wanted. Haider gone for 3 of 6, just on his pads, clipped it straight into the air, and it's caught at square leg. So the South Africans getting a bit of hope here. I mean, this Pakistan middle order hasn't had any batting chance at all, I think, in this T20 series. So they are a bit vulnerable.
They've been watching a lot of cricket.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was about to make the point that this is an entire series where we haven't talked about Pakistan being mercurial and, you know, which Pakistan team is going to show up. They've become much, much more clinical and stable under Mickey Arthur, haven't they? And this certainly the white ball tour has been very clinical by Pakistan, built around the success, I think, of Babar Azam and Fakhar Zaman. Mpo just saying, no, guys, the selection of this team. Why do people want that coach out? How do you select 4 specialist batsmen today and 8 bowling options? He thinks we don't know cricket.
Well, I think. Well, if you look at, we just want try to get everybody a chance. Maybe I don't know. Maybe just trying to strengthen their batting lineup and having enough faith in a George Linder and a Vian Mulder, and it just didn't pay off today. I'm not quite sure what the plan of action was, but you got to live with it. You got to live with the plan.
Well, I will agree with him, Paul. I do not know a whole lot about cricket. I only know about what I see on TV. So that is true.
You hide it well, Otto.
Well, I thought I knew a little bit about cricket until I met you lot. Jeez, like.
Just a couple more tweets. Jeff Perkins saying we're throwing down the gauntlet to Pakistan to out South Africa. Yeah, I mean the only other team in the world that could lose from here is South Africa, I think. So that's what he's getting at.
40 runs needed from 8.2 overs. So that's 40 runs from 50 balls, if I'm not mistaken. And at this point in time, South Africa were 93 for 2. So Pakistan may be starting their collapse a little bit earlier than South Africa. Either way, the game is going to be over in about 10 or 15 minutes or so, maybe half an hour.
So South Africa wins is going to be a busy 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've got a question for you guys though. If we're looking at our IPL guys coming in or for our World Cup squad, you're going to have a very tough time picking your batting lineup. If you're looking at all the quality we have, and maybe even Faf coming into the equation, and AB even as well. So we've got a few of those good headaches, at least as well with the batting. It's just our bowling that we're going to have to work on. Maybe getting a few more specialized bowlers into the squad.
Maybe somebody can tweet us. When was the last time South Africa bowled a side out in a T20 match, in a T20 international?
That's also the end.
That's also beat the bat. Yeah.
I mean, that probably only happens 10% of the time in T20s anyway.
Yeah.
Let's quickly see what Google says about that.
Okay, we'll let you play on Google.
12 overs gone, 104.
I mean, Chris is probably already yelling at the taxi driver that he's in to like stop so that he can WhatsApp or whatever. Because if he doesn't know it off the top of his head, he'll be able to search it within minutes. He's an astonishing talent in that point of view. Well, George Linder into the attack.
Finally, it's taken them only 12 overs, but I think they should have brought him in a lot earlier. So, they only said when we played our last T20.
I would have liked to see him maybe bowl. Well, they brought Bjorn Fortuin back after his initial over, and that's probably when they should have brought George Linder in.
I would have maybe even liked to see George Linder open the bowling with Bjorn Fortuin, maybe going with 2 spinners. But either way, he's coming in now. First ball on the pass, just clipped to a deep mid-wicket, 1 run. Score is 107 for 4 after 12.1.
It's interesting that Aiden Markram bowled, I thought, very, very well in the ODIs. Has he bowled much in this series?
No, I don't think he has. And that was one of my arguments with one of my cricket friends, is saying that, yes, we've got guys like the last ODI where he bowled, I think he bowled 10 his overs for 40-odd runs. And I was saying that, yes, he bowled 40, he went for 40, and then our frontline bowlers went for 8-9 over, which you can't have if you have a part-time going at 4 and your frontline bowlers going at 9-10.
Yeah,
it's just not normal.
And yet he hasn't bowled a ball in this series, in this T20 series.
Oh, very close to an outside edge. At Pirates, you've got a rule: you never cut an off spinner. So Mohamed Hafez has never obviously been to Pirates. I mean, that's a golden rule at Pirates: you never cut an off spinner, because it's always chaos. So
it's a left-handed off. Well, the ball is spinning to the offside, so you're playing. The ball is always going away from you. That one down to middle for a single. 108 for 4.
So
2 dots by Linder and 2 singles so far. Good over. Let's see if he can close it out.
Yeah, so Linder coming around the wickets to, I think it's Asif Ali. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Bit shortish. Just dropped short of Sisanda Magala at a, I don't know if it's quite a deep, if it's not quite short third man. It's more of a backward point-ish, between backward point and third man, but just dropped short of him. So
another
good over so far. Good over from Lindo. Can he finish it all strong? Last ball of the over to Asif Ali coming around the wickets. Very good line of length. Just 1 down to deep mid off. So good over from Lindo. Only 3 from it. The score is 109 for 4 after 13.
Yeah, so another 36 runs to get for Pakistan.
Yeah,
and they've got 7 overs to do it.
I think this is the huge problem here: is we don't have wicket takers in this team.
No, we don't. We don't.
And this is the moment when we took that 3rd wicket. That's when you bring KG Rabada back, and you say, right, glory time. You take 6 in 2 overs. It's that sort of moment.
Or you bring in Kia, or in 3 or 4 years ago, you would bring back Imran Tahir, and he could clean up the lower end. So it's just we don't have those wicket takers anymore in the squad.
I personally think
these guys were wicket takers at domestic level. So I think what this tells us more than anything else is that there is a huge gap between our domestic cricket and international cricket.
So Shamsi replacing Adela Petloquaya after he only went for 3 and got a wicket. So interesting ploy by Klaasen. First ball, hit straight back to Shamsi, no run. So it's quite interesting how they're not giving Petloquaya another over, even though he took a wicket and only went for 3. So interesting ploy. So Shamsi coming over the wicket again to Asif Ali, and it's pulled, just bounces short of Aiden Markram at deep mid wicket, and it's only 1. So what would Klaasen's reason be for not giving Petloquaya another over here? Is he scared he might go? I have no
idea. I mean, maybe he's thinking that pace off the ball is the way to go now with these. Well, it's relatively new, 2 new batsmen to the crease, but Yeah, once again, looking from the outside in.
Oh, there's a miscommunication.
Weird.
But both get safely just drifted down the pads to Shamsi. Hafiz on his start pad and just went to fun leg, and then it was a bit of a miscommunication between Hafiz and Asif Ali. Luckily, both of them, well, not luckily, but both of them got home without any trouble.
Because I always remind myself about this Eric Simons quote that I heard after this ball.
Going slog sweep. Oh, and it's caught. Yes, Lazard Williams catches it at a very square, long on the boundary line, and Hafiz gone for 10 of 12. So now we can't actually criticize Klaasen for bringing Shamsi back on. He's just taken a very valuable wicket of Mohamed Hafiz. So well done, Heinrich Klaasen.
Yeah, Mohamed Hafiz scored off the bowling of Shamsi for 10 runs off 12 balls, 110 for 5. And so what I was about to say is just that Eric Simons talked about the plan, the execution, and the result when you're playing cricket. So we don't know what the plans are. We can see the execution and the result, but we're not obviously flies on the wall in the dressing room to say, this was the plan. And then you can compare the plan with the way the players were able to execute the plan, because you can, and he explained it so nicely when he said that you could have, all your fielders in the right place, you can bowl a correct line to your field and then get hit for 6. So the result, the plan and the execution was there, but the result just didn't go your way.
Let me get through a couple of tweets.
Maybe makes it weird when you're watching cricket and you're not in part of that inner circle, that you can't really see what's going on behind the scenes.
I think there is some thought going on. I've got no doubt about that. Chepo Taylor saying, why did we wait this long to bowl Pat Flyer, which was largely what you were saying as well, Ruth.
Yeah. So Shamsi coming in first ball to Asif Ali. And it's just played to cover, pushing for 2, but they probably only get 1. So good over this so far from Shamsi, only going for 2 and the wicket. So Pakistan under Nelson now. Nelson for 5. So hopefully we can get another wicket on the Nelson. Yeah, hopefully the Nelson strikes. So we'll have to wait and see.
Paul tweets in answer to your question. When was the last time South Africa bowled a team out in the T20? It was 2 games ago, Otto. It was the second T20 at the Wanderers this season.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course.
That's a bit of a blinder for us.
Yeah, we forgot. We completely see. I mean, I haven't watched any of the games yet, so I just quickly went to revise to just know. It looks like I know something, and I obviously didn't register that.
And I commentated on that game. I know. 112 for 5 after 14 overs. Good over by Shamsi, 3 runs and a wicket. Yeah.
So I'm Paul saying Simon asking for wicket takers, and the guy who has taken the most wickets for South African limited overs since 2019 is not getting a second over. And I think he is talking about Andile Petwa. And brain dead, Paul calls it. And Wazim says, in response to Paul talking about us having 4 batters and 8 bowlers, Wazim says yes, and the balance of this team in this whole series has not been right. What's the point in this aggressive brand of cricket if you only have 4 or 5 genuine batsmen per game, with numbers 6 or 7 not bowling at all? Just doesn't make sense, and serious questions need to be asked.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm just really worried that our lack of depth has been really exposed in this series.
Yeah, especially if we go to a World Cup and guys like Rabada and Nokia, if your main guys get injured, then you don't have any other depth to do anything. Yeah. For him, it's an over mid-off, Magala coming back into the attack. So Markram chases it down, only 2. So this is a very interesting ploy by Heinrich Klaasen. Only for the last 4 overs, there's been 4 different bowlers. So he's just changing it up the whole time, not getting the batsman used to anybody. So it's a very interesting ploy at the moment.
Well, it seems to have worked because we've taken 4 wickets in the past few overs.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the plan, is to just keep the Pakistan batters guessing and not giving them enough deliveries to get used to a single bowler.
So this ball on off stump just hit through the gap to sweepish region. Wellington sweeps and there's only 1 run. Score is 115 for 5 after 14.2 overs.
So they need 34 balls So they need 30 runs, from 34 balls. Or in fact, I'm looking at that a little ahead of time. But it's, South Africa has to bowl them out. It's not impossible, and certainly at the moment, things are just beginning to swing South Africa's way ever so slightly.
Yeah, it's. I think it's very in the balance at the moment. It can sway either way, depending on the next 2 or 3 overs.
balls. Yeah, the next 2 or 3 balls.
Is another one? Is it? I think it is. It's a top edge from Asif Ali, and it's caught and ball by Sisanda Magala. So this plan by Heinrich Klaasen is working, from just switching his bowlers around and just not getting them used to one pace and one sort of delivery. So well bowled by Sisanda Magala, just rushing him a bit with the bounce. I don't think he expected it, and it's a very, very good piece of bowling and a good catch. And the score is now 115 for 6. So
that was very, very good bowling by Sisanda Magala.
Yeah. I mean, he's shown that he can bowl the Yorker and he can bowl it to death, but he can also surprise you with that quick pace bouncer. So it's very good bowling.
This is how he bowls in the domestic stuff. He's accurate. He's very dangerous as a bowler for the Lions. Asif Ali goes for 5 of 9 deliveries, strike rate of 55, and Mohammad Nawaz comes to the crease now. Yeah, so the batter there trying to play the hook shot off the short delivery, toe ends it straight back to Magala. He didn't need to move. He just stopped himself in his follow through, and I know he had to just adjust a little bit, but straight to him. Yeah.
So Mohammad Nawaz. Coming into the attacks, coming to the crease, Sisanda Magala. Is he going to bowl over or around the wicket? No, he's going over the wicket to the left-hander. And he just left past Nawaz around the off-stump line. No run. So I think this has been really good bowling this last 4 or 5 overs by South Africa. Just keeping the pressure on Pakistan and keep on taking wickets and just exposing the middle order properly at the moment. So we'll just have to see if we can keep up with it and get a few more wickets, and then shift the momentum properly in our way.
Yeah, get the pressure onto the batters because they've got nobody set at the moment. Fahim has only faced 3. Nawaz is going to face his second now.
Oh, and it's just wide out, so off, no run. Big swing and miss by Nawaz. So the intent is still there, I think, by Pakistan to play as attacking as possible. Just trying to get at least a boundary and over. Still trying to keep that intent of going at more than run a ball. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, so
it's interesting seeing Hassan Ali on the side there, clearly nervous, sort of pacing up and down, and it's kind of good to see guys at this level still nervous. Actually, I sometimes forget that they still feel nerves.
Yep.
But there's one thing about Pakistan's batting lineup is I think they bat until 11 about, where we only bat until 7 or 8. So their depth in their batting is just it's phenomenal, actually, if you think about it.
Well, Nawaz, I saw, has got an average of 7, so he's not great. But Hassan Ali, once he's gone, Shaheen Shah Afridi can swing the bat. He can hit the boundaries. And then Hasnain is the number 11, right?
Yeah, and he's still
new. Yeah, he's still new in his international career.
But in that that ODI where Fakhar almost scored 200, there at the end he didn't look too bad with the bat either.
Yeah, no, he's got some good figures at the domestic level, if I remember correctly. Shamsi will continue 30 now or 30.
Yeah, Shamsi coming around over the wicket to Fahim Ashraf. Oh, just beats the bat. Brilliant delivery from Tabriz Shamsi. Perfect line, perfect length, and nice. It just turns too much to catch the outside edge. Top stuff.
This is much better. 30 now needed of 29. And Shamsi getting real turn here.
It's so nice to see a left arm wrist spinner coming into his zone. It's amazing. Shamsi coming over the wicket. Oh, just missing the outside edge from Fahim Ashraf. This is top class bowling by Tabriz Shamsi. Just beating the outside edge. Fahim Ashraf not quite knowing what's going on. And it's proper grip and turn at the moment here from Tabriz Shamsi.
Almost a copy and paste, almost an exact repeat of the previous ball.
So Shamsi coming in again. bit straight this time. I think it's just a bit too straight, and it's just darted into the leg side. 1 run to Andile Petlokwaya at mid wickets. There's a Pakistani 29 of 27. The score is 116 for 6.
3 balls to go here from Shamsi, so he can get a hat trick still.
Well, we hope so.
That'll be nice. That's what we need.
So Shamsi coming over the wicket. Oh, and it's just, I think that's a googly. Don't think Nawaz picked it at all. Well ball by Shamsi. Good line, good length.
Klaasen picked the googly there. He was running to the leg side.
Yeah.
Maybe waiting for a bad day.
I think he might have picked it off the pitch, but still, he didn't make it look like that. So Shamsi coming over the wicket again. 2 balls left of the over. Oh, and it's another googly. Probably just pitching outside off, but impact outside off. But good over so far from Shamsi, keeping the batsman guessing. And here we see it's been 39 balls since the last boundary for Pakistan. So the runs have really dried up. So it's good to see from South Africa that their death bowling has improved a bit. Let's just hope they can keep it.
Since the last boundary, 29 minutes and 39 balls. So great work here by the South African bowlers. And I think we have to say by Klaasen, switching things up.
Yeah. So end of the over, Shamsi just finishing his spell. I'm not quite sure what his figures were. It doesn't. I think it might have been 1 for 20.
I'll get them for you right away now. So Tabriz Shamsi, 4 overs, 1 for 21.
Well, great stuff.
That's not too bad.
Especially
after he conceded 12 runs in his first over.
Exactly.
Yeah, he did nicely. So economy rate of 5.25. He bowled 10 dot balls. Only was hit for 2 fours. And in fact, that spell he's just bowled was 2 overs for 5 runs and the 1 wicket.
Yeah. It just
so
shows.
There you go. That's why the question answered. That's why he's at the top of the rankings.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were certainly pouring scorn after the first over, weren't we? But he's come back very, very well indeed. Power to him. I mean, he was a real figure of fun when we first started the Guerrilla commentary.
So this is Sisanda Magala to continue coming over the wickets. Oh, and it's just cut away. It looks like only one good fielding there by Andile Petlokwaya, third man, and it's 2 runs for Nawaz. So good fielding by Andile Petlokwaya on the third man boundary. Just a bit too short, I think, from Sisanda Magala, but yeah, good bowling. Almost a catch-up point. Just wish the guy could have been a bit more athletic. But anyway.
Oh, no, that was well wide of, backward of square. Off point to the right of the man at backward point. But if he had maybe some Oscar Pistorius super legs or something, he could jump the extra 3 meters he needed to catch that ball.
But it's in international cricket, we expect them to be able to take those catches. Don't know what's going on here. Klaasen just running to Magala, maybe telling him to
was playing the pull shot across the line, and Magala just beating him all ends up there. The ball going through to the keeper for no run. Magala with his head in his hands. How did that not get an edge?
I'd be inclined to say, the wicketkeeper mustn't get involved if things are not going wrong for the bowler. I mean, just
exactly.
let it happen.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Maybe it was just hey, bud, you're doing well. Just keep it there.
Yeah, don't try something else. Ball by.
I don't think the nosiest keeper in the world would run all the way from his position to the bowler, top of the bowler's run up to tell him just keep it there. That's stuff you can yell out.
Maybe ask him for the short stuff there, because that bouncer was quite well directed, not a wide, and through to the keeper for another dot. Run rate jump, the required run rate up, yes.
So Sisanda Magala coming over the wickets to Nawaz. 2 and then 3 dots, and then another dot, big swing and a miss from Nawaz. So Magala doing a solid job here, just keeping Nawaz quiet from one end, holding the pressure so that South Africa, they just need to keep building this pressure. And it looks like at the moment we don't even have to take all the wickets if Pakistan are just going to swing and miss all the time.
Because I mean, this is interesting. There's no doubt that the Pakistan minds are scrambled now. They're not trying to rotate the strike or anything like that. No. I mean, South Africa are bowling a lot of dot balls. This is going to be
Magala looking confident.
So Magala going short again, and it's just dropped short of Adam Markram at short mid off, and it's 1 run to to him. Very close to another wicket. Pakistani 25 of 19. Good bowling from Sisanda Magala once again.
Magala was unlucky not to get another wicket there. Nawaz trying to pull it across the line. It hit him high on the bat and just looped away. But was he mid-off? Left hand, was right on the circle.
So Magala last ball of the over, going short again. Slow ball bounce, it looks like that time, and it's end of the over. 25 needed of 18, and the score is 120 after 6. So top
beautiful Sisanda.
Only going for 3 of that over, top over.
Yeah, I mean, having been thinking that it was about evenly matched over the last 6 or 7 overs, these last 2 overs, the one by Shamsi and that one by Magala, have definitely now put this game a little bit more towards South Africa. Still Pakistan's to lose, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but 25 off 18 when you've slowed from only needing 4 runs and over is very different to 25 for 18 when you're chasing 240. You know.
And especially because it is the lower order, we haven't actually had a lot of batting chance in these conditions because the top order have been doing all the work. It's a new challenge for Pakistan, so we'll have to wait and see what to do. And now Petlakwa is back into the attack. Only ball 1 over, went for 3 and got the wicket. So Klaasen obviously thinking that it's time for the expertise of Andile Petlakwa and his variations. So we'll have to see and wait and see if it works. Hopefully he can pick up another wicket. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, so he's going to bowl 18 and 20, I would imagine.
Yeah, and then I think it's either going to be Magala or Williams to bowl over number 19.
So 7 bowlers used by South Africa, meaning that only Shamsi bowled his full 4. Am I right?
And it's short by Andile Petlakwa, and it's pulled away for 4. Top shot by Nawaz. You can't bowl there, not with fine leg in the ring. Good shot by Nawaz. And after 46 balls, Pakistan finally having a boundary. So the drought has ended, but hopefully Andile Petlakwa can come back into that. Just a bit too short and too straight, especially with fine leg in the ring. But let's hope he can come back and hopefully get a wicket next ball. Just get a drop ball, a few drop balls, finish this over off strong, not go for too many. So
well controlled there. Off the face of the bat. Yeah.
But if you're Pakistan, you're saying to each other, don't try and get another boundary. Maybe just get 4 or 5 singles and just get that over to at least a 9-run over or a 10-run over. I would think. Yeah.
No, that absolutely has to be the plan here for Pakistan because they were swishing and swashing at Sisanda Magala, and that's going to bring him into the game.
So Andile Petlakwa, wide ball down the leg side. It's just not the line to bowl at the moment. I think he's got the right idea. It's just not the execution's just not there at the moment. Hopefully he can correct it. Just a bit too straight at the moment.
So a couple of tweets in. Josie Oak saying, "You're still, Otto? Doomed."
I'm still?
No, he's just saying you're still doomed. Josie Oak always tweeting us round about now to say that
I thought he might say something else for a change, but no. All service resumes. Yep.
Neutral colours, please, saying, I sort of get the thinking. Remember, Mulder, Linda, and Patwaya are genuine all-rounders who can score decent runs. It's just that today our batters didn't fire. I mean, that is reasonable.
True.
That is true.
And Chris TB says, Hassan Ali is the one batsman that I'm still afraid of.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely.
Dot ball from Petlakwa there.
So
that's good.
Nawaz dancing down the track, 1 run to extra cover. So Nawaz off strike, 9 of 14. Pakistan hitting 19 of 15.
Yeah, score is 126 for 6 with 15 balls to go. 5 of 7, Fahim Ashraf, Mohammad Nawaz, 9 of 14. So no danger of a rain interruption here at all.
No,
we can see the clouds there off to the southwest, and there's nothing there, so that's good.
So Andile Petlakwa to Fahim Ashraf just pushed into into the mid-wicket area. Good fielding there by the deep mid-wicket fielder. Only 1 run.
18 or 14 needed now.
Yeah, it's going to be another nail biter. It's always these low-scoring games that are always these nail biters, and it's always so close.
No, I think if South Africa can take a wicket in each of these three, with these two remaining balls, and then a wicket in each of the last 2 overs, it might be.
One leg by, well bowled by Ndile Phehlukwayo, Yorker length, and it's just a good running by for him. Ashraf not trusting Nawaz with the strike at the moment, saying you've got too many dot balls to your name. We must at least get another boundary in this over. But well bowled by Ndile Phehlukwayo once again.
Yeah, no,
so you were talking about whether the weather was going to have an impact. I can assure you the nearest lightning is 150 kilometers north of Centurion at the moment on the N1 up from Bogopani.
Okay, that's quite a distance.
That might hit me. We do sometimes get our rain from the north.
Last ball of the 18th over. Good Yorker once again by Ndile Phehlukwayo. Should only be one down to mid-wicket. Yes, it is. Top over from Ndile Phehlukwayo. Apart from the boundary of the first ball, only singles and one dot ball from the over. So Pakistan 129 for 6 after 18, and they still need 16 of 12. It's 8 and over.
What are we going to see in these last 12 deliveries? Fahim is on 7 of 9. Nawaz is on 9 of 15. I almost want to correct myself and say, let's rather not take a wicket. And because just have these two guys, because they're not looking very flash. Nawaz and Asif here. Is it? Yeah.
But interesting fact is, in our last 2 overs, we only scored 3 runs. So if we can just have that same death bowling, get a wicket and get Hassan Ali as quickly as possible. Because if it is off, it's going to be...
It's done,
over, so we have to get him early as possible. But it's Sisanda Magala to Fahim Ashraf. Good ball once again. I think it's another slow ball. Just going over the top of middle stump. Well bowled. Perfect stuff from Sisanda Magala.
Yeah, rolling his fingers over that. So a lot of pace off, and actually bounced on the way through to the keeper as well. He hit so well these last 8 balls or so.
Yeah, perfect line there for that delivery. Yeah, that just goes bouncing over the stumps, over middle and off stump for the left-hander. Great bowling.
So Magala to Fahim Ashraf again. Same length. Oh, it's just chipped. Is it out? Yes, it is. Caught by Markram and short mid on. And that is the wicket of Fahim Ashraf. Gone for 7 of 11. Pakistan still needs 16 of 10. Score is 129 for 7.
Wonderful stuff by Sisanda Magala. Once again, he pulls it back very, very nicely. 3.2 overs now, 2 for 23. And Hassan Ali comes to the wicket. Fahim is out for 7 of 11, caught by Markram, bowled by Sisanda Magala.
I think that was a good plan by Sisanda Magala in South Africa. They've been bowling so many slower balls, and I think he just rushed Fahim Ashraf a bit with that quicker one. And it's a good catch by Markram. So top stuff by South Africa here.
I mean, these guys have really they've made a mess of this in terms of every ball they've been trying to hit the leather off it. And if they had just been working it around for the last 4 overs, they would be needing 6 runs to win now.
Yeah, they would have gotten past the score already.
But look at that strike rate.
See what we can do to Hassan Ali.
Look at that strike rate from Hassan Ali, 212.
Oh no.
So
South Africa need to get him in the first 2 or 3 balls of his innings for us to still win this game, I think.
Or at least just keep him at the non-striker's end and not let him face as little as possible. So it's Sisanda Magala to Hassan Ali coming over the wickets. And it's a short ball straight at his head. Is it going to be called a wide? No, it's not. It's a good delivery from Sisanda Magala. Dot ball. Now Pakistan needing 6 of 9. Well bowled by Magala. I didn't expect him to go short to Hassan Ali first up. I was expecting a Yorker length delivery, but well bowled by Magala.
Now we see a repeat of that wicket. It was just such a beautiful line there on off stump. Batsman had to play, and just not enough room to play that shot. Not timing it at all.
Magala going short again, outside off. well bowled again. It's 1 for the over as well. Sean George saying 1 for the over, and Pakistan hitting 2 and over. Is this going to be a maiden? Is the 90th going to be a maiden? We haven't seen that in quite a while.
The first one wasn't considered a bouncer. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I think it's because if you look at the height of Hassan Ali, the first one, it would have probably been below
shoulder
chest
height.
Shoulder height, yeah. And because he ducked, it made it a lot difficult, more difficult than it should have been.
No, so you probably, as an umpire, pick a spot behind the batsman when you're standing at square leg, right? To just check whether it's,
Oh, and also just trying to go into the pads of Hassan Ali, but going too far down leg, and it's a wide ball from Susanna Magala. Not exactly what South Africa wanted, but yeah.
It's going to be a no ball as well.
Is it going to be? No, I think it is a no ball. It is a no ball.
Oh, no.
Not what we wanted. Not what we wanted.
Susanna Magala has done so well.
He has. He really has.
This might be a match-changing situation here.
Yeah.
Come on,
Let's hope he can. Hopefully, he can hit that line of length that he wants to. So, Susanna Magala to Hassan Ali, free hit, coming over the wickets, and he goes for a length delivery, foolish length. Hassan Ali swats it away to deep square, deep mid wicket, and it's only 1 run. So 1 ball left of the over.
Thank goodness.
Oh, it's not another no ball. Please don't say it's another no ball.
Oh, jeez, I'm hoping this is a replay of the previous one. Oh, it is another no ball. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Not what we wanted.
No, that is poor. That is really poor.
Not what you want.
Somebody just go and move his marker.
Move it a few meters back. Or just give the umpire a pair of sunglasses, or just give him a black eye so he doesn't see it again.
Take one for the team. Assault the umpire.
Magala coming over the wicket to Nawaz. Oh, and it's just length straight up in the air. Is it going to go for 6 or should it? No, it is a 6. It's a 6 from Nawaz. Not what South Africa wanted. Oh, Pakistan needing 7 of 7. And that has just ruined a perfect over from Sisanda Magala almost. That was also the cameraman as well. He almost took one for the team.
Oh, my word. Just... Not good at all there from Sisanda Magala in those last 3 deliveries.
Yeah, well, you're very close to the cameraman. Almost hitting him.
That's interesting. Magala knocking the bails off in frustration at the end. That's how to lose 25% of your match fee for no real effort.
Yeah, pretty much. So last ball of the 19th over. Sisanda Magala to Nawaz going for the Yorker length. Should only be 1. Yeah, it is. I think Mulder doing the fielding. It is 1. Yeah, so Pakistan hitting 6 of the last over, and Magala screaming in frustration into his hands. Knows he messed up a bit, but hopefully he's left enough for the last over. Pakistan hitting 6 off it. It's going now.
Who's batting this last over?
It's going to be interesting to see. It's either going to be Bethel Kyle or Lazard Williams.
It must be Bethel Kyle, surely.
Yeah. I think you might go Lazard Williams since he has taken 2 wickets as well. And he hasn't got it.
I don't know. I trust Andile to defend 4 of 6 balls.
Yeah, it's
if you can defend 5, that's okay, because then it'll be defend 6, then it'll be a super over.
I think they actually sent a medic down to the cameraman to check he was okay. Did he actually hit him?
Yeah, I think he might have been hit actually.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, but it didn't hit him on the head. I think it might have hit his shoulder or somewhere else.
Yeah. Anyway, he's showing the double thumbs up, so no great stress. Obviously a local lad, because he's got his light blue one in support of Google.
Yeah, I like this cameraman, supporting the right team.
And the Titans, of course, are still light blue as well, aren't they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it is going to be Lazard Williams.
Yeah, it is going to be. So he wasn't able to defend 6 in the first T20, where Pakistan just got over the line. Hopefully he can defend 6 this time. He's bowling to Nawaz, who is on 16 of 17. He's coming around the wickets. And the first ball, it's a good Yorker. Should only be 1. Yes, it is. Good bowling from Lazard Williams, but we need a dot ball here somewhere. We can't just give them singles. 140 for 7, Pakistan, 19.1 overs, 5-5. Hassan Ali to face Lazard Williams. Oh, this is nail-biting stuff. Yes, game of cricket is a funny thing.
Well, it's good to see that we at least have a close finish to this game. We thought that we were done and dusted after scoring 144.
Yeah, and especially after Pakistan were 90 odd after 9 overs.
Yeah, that as well. Yes, good point. Geez, so they only scored 40 runs in 9.1 overs.
Yeah, so
50,
Lazard Williams coming over the wickets, looks like to Hassan Ali, needing 5-5. Interesting to see where he's going to bowl. So Lazard Williams to Hassan Ali going full. Should only be one again to Mulder. Yes, it is. So good stuff by South Africa. It's only one. Still very, very neck and neck at the moment. 141 for 7 after 90.2. Oh, this is going to be a good finish, I think.
Yeah.
4 dot balls here, Lazard. Come on. 141 for 7. 4 balls to go. 4 runs needed.
Nawaz. Williams coming around the wickets to Nawaz. Well bowled again. Should only be one. No, they're coming back for the second. Hassan Ali, is it quick enough? Yes, it is. 2 runs. Pakistan needing 2 of 3. Good running by Pakistan.
I think the throw went to the wrong end there as well. It went to the bowler. It should have gone to the keeper. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nawaz was a bit on the wrong foot there. Wasn't keen on going for 2. I think he was taking the first one very slowly and then realizing he has to go back for the second. So 2 of 3 needed. Nawaz facing 19 of 19. It's going to be very close.
I think this is Nawaz's highest score, if I remember correctly. His highest previously was 18 in Lahore against us this year.
Yeah, okay. So he likes batting against us, you can see.
Damn it.
Just feel for Sisanda Magala. He must be feeling rotten now, having bowled as well as I've ever seen him bowl. Just to have basically a 2-ball brain fade, and it undid all the good work. Poor guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was his bowling that got us to the position where we had something to hope about. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'll quote our friend Mpo, it's the hope that kills you, eh?
Oh, good ball.
Shout out to Mpo.
And it's a good ball from Lazard Williams. Dot ball, well bowled by Williams.
Yeah.
Just cramping Nawaz for room. And it's just followed him. Well bowled. 2 of 2. Very, very intense stuff here. Can he bowl another dot ball?
Yeah, that was Nawaz dancing outside his leg stump, and Lazard followed him nicely. And there was, not really a run-out chance at the other end, but Hassan Ali was well on the wicket. Clarkson sent the ball back to the bowler, broke the stumps, but Hassan
So Williams to Nawaz. Short ball, and it's pulled away, and it should be 6. Yes, it is, and that is the game. Pakistan win by 3 wickets. It's a disappointing end, but oh well. It was a good game at least. We at least went down fighting.
It was indeed very, very good game indeed. It was. South Africa had no right to have even got that into the last 2 or 3 overs. But some superb bowling by Tabrez Shamsi and Sisanda Magala, and then unfortunately in that second, the sort of eighth last ball of the innings, Magala bowled two no balls in a row, and one of which went for 6, and that was the free hit, the ultimate free hit, then went for 6. And that, I'm afraid, was the end of that challenge. Gents, thank you very, very much for your time. Ruth, it's lovely to see you developing as a commentator, mate. You did very, very well as always. Otto, one of our steady hands on the tiller. And the next time we'll be live on air will probably be when South Africa tour Ireland in June, July. So there's a big break now for Guerrilla Cricket South Africa. But well done to everybody, and have a lovely evening.
Thank you. Same to you, Simon. And that is unless somebody wants to sponsor us. So if you want to sponsor us for some other sporting events that we can cover for you and get your brand out there, do get in touch with us at 1wsr.com.
You're absolutely welcome. And of course, what we do is do a lot of commentary for Pitch Vision. And we're beginning to get a little bit of work coming in for with the Pitch Vision contract as well. So hopefully, if you want a club game that you can actually get it televised on YouTube with us as commentators, get hold of the Pitch Vision guys or get hold of us. You can email me, simongear@gmail.com, or tweet me at simongear is probably the easiest. Gents, have a really, really good evening, and you stay well. Cheers.
Thanks,
you.
Simon.
Too. Bye, Simon.
We'll get there in a moment. Here we go.
I'm gonna send the 4x4, 4 for the 4 that stood at the door.
Surprisingly few boundaries so far today, but that is the debut boundary for our man Tom Banton, and he's on his way. Always makes me slightly nervous because 21-year-olds don't know that they're supposed to be intimidated.
Well, I think... let's wait for this ball.
Pithluaya out. And has he got something on this?
Playing a miss.
It was a slower ball, I think, from Pithluaya, and it swung away gently from Banton, and he went after it, and I thought for a moment he'd got an edge, but he's got away with it.
Bit of a dibbly-dobbler there from Andile Fish-Rukwaya.
Yeah.
But I think between Banton and Denley, they both had a conference, and they agreed that Banton plays the role of the aggressor, while Denley will secure his wickets, play the anchor role, if you will.
So Banton moves on to 6, and he's facing up to Pithluaya. Another one outside the off stump, and another waft by Banton. So Pithluaya just seems to have his number at the moment there outside the off stump. That's 2 balls in a row
Just
that he
needed a tickle.
could so easily